Hey guys, what's up and welcome back Quality Shot Tennis. Today we've got the quarterfinal matchup between Stefanos Tsitsipas and also Nicolas Jarry. It is not the first time that these guys are playing. That is 3-2 for Jarry, who's caused trouble to Tsitsipas in the past. Tsitsipas, for many, is a big favorite in this tournament, including for myself, but Jarry is not somebody to play around with. Big underdog in this one. What's up, everybody joining in? About to get started as players are warming up at the moment. How's everyone doing? What's up, Lucy? Vamos, Stefanos Tsitsipas. Let's go, Steph. What's up, Nicolas? You can win. Let's see. See how Steph can do. Remember to like and subscribe. That's it. Don't forget to subscribe. Quality Shot Tennis, all that stuff like usual. If you are new to the channel, I will be doing a play-by-play from the first point to the last. Both guys are currently warming up their serves as we speak. Jarry has won 5 of their last 7 sets, by the way, which I think is notable. He's beaten Steph a couple of times in straight sets. I want to pull up their head-to-head. Because, listen, even the last time that Steph won, which was in Los Cabos, Jarry played fantastic. I mean, Jarry likes playing Steph. Last time they played Beijing last year, round of 32, Jarry won 6-4, 6-4. You could say Steph wasn't at his best at that time. He wasn't. That was like October last year, right before we went to indoor hard courts. But that being said, Jarry's been at trouble for Tsitsipas. In Hal on grass courts last year, it was 7-6, 7-5. Jarry saving some match or set points in the first set there, winning them in really impressive fashion. And then also before that, some of their meetings also on grass court. Jarry won their first meeting in 2019, but they've played 4 times in the last year or so. In 2023, they played 4 times in 2023. 2 went the way of Jarry, 2 went the way of Steph. But Jarry's wins were more decisive than Tsitsipas's. So it's a tough matchup. It's a tough matchup for Steph. But they've only played on clay court once. And Tsitsipas won that last year in Monte Carlo. So, hey, what's up, Cedric? Pick up Cedric. How's it going? Daz as well. What's up, Daz? What racket does Jarry use? I'll be honest, I don't know. I can look it up, though. Jarry racket. Hope I can find it there if I look it up. Jarry Wilson racket. A Wilson racket. And then this was a while ago. The information I'm seeing here is a while ago. But Wilson racket, tension 23 kilos. Could still be the case. Don't know. That's kind of some of the information I can give you about his racket. But we should be starting up soon. Here we go, quarterfinals. The last for the last semifinalist to take his spot. Tommy Paul earlier today claiming his semifinal spot. Here we go. Tsitsipas with the serve. Serve Steph, the backhand of Jarry, forehand of Steph. The backhand of Jarry, forehand of Steph. The backhand of Jarry, that's in the net. So 15 love. We're getting started down in Rome. We got the scoreboard looking a little bit better here. First serve in the net. Second serve in the net. That's a double fault, 15-all. Tsitsipas, by the way, absolutely cruising, ruthless in his last match against De Minaur. He looks so on top of everything. So aggressive. His backhand looking as good as ever, too. That's going to be really good in this match because, like I said, the one time they've played on clay, Tsitsipas won 6-3, 6-4. A lot of the patterns in their matches is Jarry is really good at winning the backhand-to-backhand ad-side exchanges. But on clay, where Steph has so much time on his backhand, and when it's looking as good as it has, it's going to be a little bit tougher for Jarry. Forehand Steph, cross court, forehand of Jarry. Oh, that's a big down-the-line winner forehand from Jarry. So 15-30. It's a big strike. It's going to be really interesting. I love this Rome tournament. I love the way the clay looks. It's a great tournament right before Roland Garros. It's come with a lot of surprises, though. A lot of health concerns for different players, which is not ideal. A level of unpredictability in sports is not bad, but you don't want it to be for the wrong reasons. Backhand Jarry, the forehand of Steph. The forehand of Jarry, way up high, forehand of Steph. That's a winner, put away. Tsitsipas, such a good athlete, just has such a good control of the court. 30 all. Ruthless depth off that forehand. Good placement. Backhand to backhand. It's a backhand down the line in the net from Jarry. Tsitsipas gets the hold and goes to the other side for a 1-0 start. Predictions for this one. I'm going to go. My prediction for this match is Tsitsipas in 3 sets. I got Tsitsipas in 3 sets. I don't think it's going to be easy. Struggled against Jarry in the past, and Jarry is playing really, really well as well. So I say Tsitsipas in 3 sets. I do think Tsitsipas is the big favorite to kind of win this tournament. I do think so. This is by far the toughest opponent that Jarry's had to play so far. Up to this point, he's had Mueller, who took out Rublev. He had Napolitano. He had Matteo Arnaldi. And those aren't easy players. But, Tsitsipas, the way he's been playing, definitely a step up. Absolutely a step up. Hey, what's up, Lexi? Hey, how's it going, Lexi? Good to have you in here. Missed you in here as well. Hello. Who won the Iga Coco match? Wasn't able to go back anymore. Yep. Yeah, Iga got it done. Yep. 2 sets. Who will win? I've got Steph. Jarry won against Tsitsipas before. Yeah. No, it's true. M4 RT. Yeah. No, absolutely. It's not going to be easy. Jarry likes playing Steph. Every time these two have gone up against each other, it's been great. They've played great matches. So many close sets. In fact, in their last 3 matches, they only played 1 set that didn't go to 6-4. This is a very good rivalry. It's an underrated rivalry, honestly, at the moment. I would already say it's up there. As that smash put away, despite the good Tsitsipas defense, so 15 love. And Jarry likes playing on clay, even though I think the matchup worsens a little bit for him on a clay court. I do think that he's going to feel just as comfortable as Steph. On the surface they're playing at. Jarry also an absolute killer when it comes to top 10 players. So, for whatever reason, he can lose to guys outside the top 50 or 60, but dude is a killer. His record against top 10 is fantastic. Really, really solid. It's an ace from Jarry out wide, so 30 love. Good serving. 226 kilometers an hour is crazy. 226 kilometers an hour. What is that to miles? 140 miles per hour. There you go. 140 miles per hour serve from Jarry. Will Rafa be seeded for French Open? No. He can get protected ranking in, but he's not going to be seeded. Not going to be seeded. There's a difference between protected ranking and seeding. Even if your protected ranking is number 11, you're not going to be seeded that way. Back in the day for Wimbledon, the tournament organizers would seed the players manually based on how good the players they think played on grass courts in particular, because grass is so different from the rest of the tour. But they don't do that anymore. But I can imagine a reality where, because Rafa's won the tournament 14 times, the organizers seed him, but that's just not something that's happening at the moment. 40-15 here for Jarry, by the way, as he steps up to the line, trying to tie us up at a game apiece. First serve is wide. Second serve from the Chilean. He's absolutely got to have a serve working, Jarry. He's got to be making a lot of first serves in my opinion. A lot of first serves in. It's going to be crucial, I think. Backing down the line, hits the tape, but goes in for a winner. So 1-1. 1-1. What do you guys think of this Rome tournament so far, by the way? I mean, on the ATP side, everything's falling apart. Meanwhile, WTA, I mean, super consistent with the players getting to the ends of the tournaments. I mean, these are arguably four of the best players in the world, if not the four best players in the world, outside of Rybakina, who just can't seem to get healthy. But Danielle Collins has won 19 of her last 20 matches. And then you have the top three players in the world in Goff, Sabalenka, and Swiatek. First time that the top three players in the world make it to the semis for the first time in like over 10 years, which is kind of crazy that hasn't happened in the last 10 or 11 years. But that being said, I mean, we're having opposite stories on WTA and on the ATP, not least of which because Swiatek seems like such a massive favorite for Roland Garros, and I just don't feel like we have that right now on the ATP side. It feels like we're talking more about underdog players who can take Roland Garros than anything else. Fantastic forehand cross court from Steph, by the way. Jarry can only clap at Tsitsipas's movement. Defending on that forehand is fantastic. That first serve goes out from Steph. Second serve. Backhand of Jarry. It's in the net. 30-love. 30-love. Tommy Paul with the semifinal run as well. I didn't expect that. 2015 junior Roland Garros champion getting it done. Pretty amazing. Really weird match against Hurkacz earlier today with some long games and very, very weird third set of a few twists and turns and very weird match. But Paul in the semis. Gil Gross. Shout out to Gil Gross. Gil had that in his draw prediction, so good call from him there. It's a good forehand cross-court winner from Jarry. You don't usually start off a tennis match with a whole lot of winners from both, but that's what we're seeing so far. Part of why this matchup is so fun a lot of the times, too. Some good shot making. Both guys trying to be the ones that dictate in the game. Forehand Steph, the backhand of Jarry as that goes out. Big fist bump from Steph as he gets to 40-15. It's a big ace from Steph, 2-1. Big ace from the Greek as we get to 2-1. Should I bet on Jarry? No, I would not. I would personally not. I am he's a decent underdog here. If he's even an underdog, because he's beaten Tsitsipas before and does well on clay. He's had a good run here, but honestly, no, I would not. The one time they played on clay last year in Monte Carlo, it was not close. These are not necessarily, it's not the same conditions, but it's fairly similar. I would not. I think Tsitsipas is playing the best tennis. He's very confident, very motivated at the moment. I still have Steph winning. I think Jarry can take a set. I think Jarry could win this, but if I'm betting, absolutely for me, no. I'm still backing Steph here. I'm still backing Steph. Hey, what's up, Seba as well? Joining in. How are we doing, Lexi? I'm sure you're backing Steph in this one. Sure you're backing Steph. I will also say, it is worth it to point out that despite Jarry leading 3-2, two of those came on grass courts, where Tsitsipas is significantly weaker than he is on all the other surfaces, especially on clay. Jarry did get that win in Beijing last year, and he has made the other matches pretty close, but or at least one of the other matches pretty close. But so he's been very good in this head-to-head, but I do want to point out that almost half of the matches so far have been played on grass courts, which Tsitsipas is he's just a little bit of a different player on grass. Not a nothing player at all, but a little bit different. So do want to point that out as well. We're playing in slow Rome clay. So we'll see. Yeah. So yeah, I would not bet on Jarry personally. Oh, what's up, Sean? Yannick Sinner had hip surgery. I haven't heard. Has that been announced today? Or what do you mean? He had a hip surgery already. It's been dead silence from the Yannick camp pretty much. I just wrote an article for the Quality Shot Tennis website talking about Sinner and his chances for Roland Garros and if he's even going to be healthy to play. I just wrote that article. Don't know if it's on the website yet, but should be soon unless he's withdrawn already. But is that already official? I saw Alcaraz is doing better with the arm. Forehand to the forehand of Steph. Backhand Steph. Backhand Jarry. Backhand of Tsitsipas. Forehand of Jarry. Forehand of Steph. Forehand Jarry goes out. 15 all. I haven't heard anything, Sean, about Sinner having hip surgery, but I do know that he's dealing with something. That he's had tests on him that he's dealing with something potentially serious. The doctors have suggested him to rest and potentially not play Roland Garros to avoid it from becoming chronic, which means that it is much more serious than Sinner and his team initially thought. So that's what I've heard. Backhand Jarry across court. Oh, it goes out 15-30. Tsitsipas gained the lead here. Listening to you just wrapping up the day's work. All right, no problem, Lexi. Sorry, stupid comment. He's fine. Okay. gave me nearly a heart attack, Sean. You know, I mean, listen, Sean, if you're coming at one of the Quality Shot Tennis commentators giving me scares about Sinner, you came to the wrong guy here. you gave me a scare there about Yannick. Yeah, it's a big come on from Jarry. So he gets the 30 all. I do like both these guys. I love watching Jarry play. One of the most locked in guys on the tour. He's just locked in. He always seems to be locked in. Very rarely does he not look just very invested in a match, especially when he's playing against these top 10, top 20 guys. (40-30) for Jarry as he tries to get it back to 2-2. Serve here. That goes out. Second serve. That's a double fault. Can't be doing that, Jarry. He's got to stay very aggressive and very much a force and presence on the serve. That's what Jarry's got to do. Yeah, so far, I mean, look at this. 80 the serve stats, 55% first serves in for Jarry, 82% for Steph. Jarry's got to stay solid on the serve. His serve on clay courts is not going to be able to be as damaging against Steph as it is on the other surfaces. He's got to stay solid on that serve, not give Steph a lot of chances on the return on second serve. Stay ahead, keep getting those first serves in. That's a great forehand pass. Look at the way Steph is moving around the court. I mean, if Steph is going to have a chance to win a Roland Garros title, then this might be the chance. I mean, his third Monte Carlo, as confident as ever on a clay court. He's in Rome. The field is falling apart. You know, Alcaraz seems like he's healthy, or hopefully he's healthy. I want all the players to be healthy, but regardless even of health, maybe the year before Alcaraz is at his peak, you know. Serve back into Steph, back into Jarry. Forehand to Steph. The back into Jarry. That's in the net. 3-1 for Steph, who gets an early lead. When I said Tsitsipas in 3, I was thinking, I don't know. I feel confident Tsitsipas has this, to be honest. Despite the head-to-head, I feel confident Tsitsipas has this. He'll also be motivated to not make it 4-2 for Jarry. Because suddenly, if it's 4-2 Jarry, then that becomes one of the most notable head-to-heads on the tour for one of these kind of top 10 guys. Because it shows that Jarry really knows how to play Steph, especially on this surface. For Jarry to do that would be big. Drop shot. Oh, no way. Steph just, oh, wow. Jarry leans over the net, but he seems to be okay as he runs to that drop shot. Steph was on his back foot there, and he had the drop shot. I just feel like right now is peak Steph confidence. And listen, Djokovic and Rafa don't look like they're at their peak and going to be absolutely dominating. We don't know. But doesn't look like they're going to be absolutely dominating like they have been every year for the last, 17 years. This is before Alcaraz is really at his peak, and it seems like he's going to be an absolute force at Roland Garros if he's healthy and if it continues the way it is. It seems like he's going to be an absolute force at Roland Garros on clay courts, which he loves so much as well. And also Sinner. Sinner's in the conversation too. Sinner doesn't look particularly healthy with the hip. So this really might be, in every single facet, the time for Steph. Not just at Rome, but even more so at Roland Garros. So let's see. But I've been saying that for a while, by the way, that it's not just like the health concerns or the injuries, but it's also the fact that this year is before Alcaraz gets to his peak on a clay court. 2024 is not Alcaraz's peak yet. So we're before Alcaraz's peak, and we're already maybe after Novak and Rafa's peak. So this might be the time to slip in there for a French Open, whether that's for Casper Ruud or Stefano Tsitsipas or Andrei Rublev or whoever it is. But Tsitsipas comes to the front of my mind when I think of that, because also Tsitsipas has struggled against Alcaraz, Djokovic, Sinner a little bit. This might be the time for Steph if he's going to do that and get a slam. So confident at the moment, playing so well. Backhands another drop shot. Jarry runs. He gets there. Slice, lob over Jarry. Tweener. Yeah, it is a tweener. Lob. Oh, no way. Oh, Steph gets there too. Oh, that goes out. What a tweener lob from Jarry. Get some love from the crowd. Some fan support, some fan love. That was a great shot. He had a lot of time to hit that tweener and set it up the way he wanted it to. So, great shot there from Jarry. Got a lot of depth. Tsitsipas nearly ran it down afterwards, but anyway. A great shot there from Jarry. Great kind of flick of the wrist for a lob. Tsitsipas so close to running it down as well. Jarry on the return. Serve here, Steph. The backhand Jarry goes out. So Jarry has won the shot of the day, but Tsitsipas is in cruise control as he gets to 4-1. Winning the Sports Center top 10 plays is one thing, but another is winning the match. Winning Sports Center top 10 plays is pretty good, though. It's underrated. Come on, Stefanos. Yahoo. Yep. He's at 4-1. I can't imagine Tsitsi with a slam. I think his philosophy will go into overdrive. Yeah. No, I mean, people have been talking about it for so long, though, you know? Like, Tsitsipas should have a major, Zverev should have a major. Well, not even being biased, but it seems like Zverev's mental game has really gotten in the way of him getting a major. I mean, he was 2 points away from winning the U.S. Open against Dominic Thiem on 5 occasions. He was up 2 sets. He served in the 5th set. Very nervy, very obvious with the serve in the 5th set as well from Zverev. So Zverev, I feel like he still will have chances. This Roland Garros might be his best chance ever, actually. He was very close at the Australian Open. But his mental game has gone the way. Like it did a little bit at the Australian Open as well, arguably. So, but for Tsitsipas has shown some really strong signs from a player. Time and time again, really. He's shown some strong signs for a player. I mean, the amount of times he beat the big three pretty much in a row right after he broke through to the tour in 2019, 2020. Within a span of the year, he beat Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic. I think he beat all 3 of them twice outside of Djokovic, who he beat just once. But also just Tsitsipas coming back from 2 sets to love down against Rafa at the Australian Open. The way that Tsitsipas can save break points, the way he played in that Roland Garros final in 2021, the way his forehand was looking when he got to the final of 2023 Australian Open. I mean, Tsitsipas, he's been a force on the tour. I mean, to me, Tsitsipas has shown that he's a very special player. Zverev, too, has shown that as well, beating Novak in straight sets in multiple big finals. So he has as well. But Tsitsipas, I just feel like on a clay court, winning Monte Carlo on 3 occasions, 3 out of 4 years, Tsitsipas has done some really special stuff, especially on clay. So to me, I would not be. I've thought this for a while. I would just not. I don't predict 2, 3, 4, 5 majors anymore for Steph, to be fully honest. But I do expect him to win at Roland Garros if the opportunity opens up, and I don't think he has a better chance than this year. I've always imagined Steph winning a slam, of course. Yeah, exactly, Lexi. That's what I have in my head. I definitely think it's possible. I mean, at this point, it's things have slowed down for him over the last year, but now he's running with a lot of good momentum. So that's what I would say. Forehand Jarry, the backhand of Steph down the line. Forehand Jarry, cross court. Forehand Steph. Oh, what a squash shot. It's a drop shot. Great shot. 30-15. 30-15 with the drop shot. Some good shot making going on. I feel like more than ever you get some good shot making when you get onto a natural surface like clay and grass courts. Get a lot of variety. People working the court in different dimensions than even you would sometimes get on the regular hard courts that you get. Backhand, forehand of Jarry, it's in the net. So 30-all. 30-all. Stop getting way too many chances on the return. Hey, what's up, Ghost? Vamos Jarry, vamos Jarry. Anthony is right. Tsitsipas has been a force on tour. It's like when you're in a car and someone farts, but it's winter. And you can't roll the windows down. Okay, well, fair enough. Guess we have different opinions about stuff there, but it's a strong opinion there, Ghost. It's not exactly what I meant, but fair enough. Backhand, the forehand of Jarry. Backhand Steph. Forehand Jarry. Backhand from Steph. Backhand looking so good. I see it's a great deep backhand off a hard Jarry backhand. And it's exactly what I was saying. He's got time on that backhand to backhand rallies on clay, where it's obviously slowed down from the usual backhand to backhand rallies you'd see between these two. And also, I mean, Jarry hit a pretty deep, strong backhand there, where Steph just casually just returned with a very deep shot, pretty close to the corner, which Jarry then missed into the net. So Steph just doing so much better at neutralizing off the backhand and just, just staying in these rallies so well. Not letting Jarry dictate starting from that backhand to backhand. Or from the serve either. Part of that is to do with Jarry. Steph misses a forehand, by the way, wide. So we go to deuce. LOL, I can't believe you read that. Well, go away, Ghost. Ghost doesn't like Stefanos. Don't believe him. No, I know. Well, listen, we have different fans of different people in the chat. So it's all good. Personally, I'm very high on Steph. And I've liked watching him more and more over the years. But no, I know there's a bit of trolling going on. I'm not blind to that. Truthfully, Tsitsipas' backhand has improved. You could see that in Monte Carlo too. Yes, absolutely. Z3 and Tabilo, have you seen that? I like Z3 a lot, but Tabilo, wow. Tabilo is playing like he's on a mission. I mean, when you beat Novak in his fastest ever clay court loss, hitting big back forehands and serves the way he was, and just so locked in the way he was, it means something. He's on a mission. I could see him winning the whole thing. I do think Tsitsipas is still a favorite, but it's a great run from him. I mean, look, we've had Ramos Vinolas reach a clay court final, Davidovich Fokina, Lajovic. We've had these kind of players reaching clay final. I don't see why Tabilo doesn't. And he's only starting to play the best tennis of his career. I mean, not just on clay courts, but in Miami when Dimitrov was playing literally prime Federer out of his mind. In Miami, Tabilo got either match point on Dimitrov or it was a couple points away from beating Dimitrov there, playing amazing. So I just think Tabilo is now getting on people's radars as a fantastic, fantastic player. On a lot of people's radars now. Started off the year with a title, so in Auckland. Never a bad start. By the way, also goes back to confidence that you build up in challengers on the challenger circuit. Challengers aren't easy, and Tabilo started off winning some challengers, ended last year with a victory in a challenger. So that's the kind of thing that'll give you confidence, getting those wins against top-tier players. That's a great forehand, attacking the Jarry backhand volley. That goes in the ground. So we're at deuce. Steph just being able to stay so much on the front foot. Like I said, partially to do with the backhand to backhand not troubling him as much and being able to be so strong on the forehand, get chances to hit the forehand, and also just the return of serve as well. I mean, I'd like to see the unreturned serves because it doesn't feel like Steph has had very many unreturned serves here. Or, Jarry has had very many unreturned serves here. Feels like Steph's getting all the returns back in play. Forehand of Steph, cross court, the forehand of Jarry. Back into Steph, the backhand of Jarry, back into Steph. Forehand of Jarry, again to the backhand of Steph, forehand Jarry. Backhand of Steph down the line, forehand Jarry. Slice, and it goes long. So, advantage to Tsitsipas as he gets to a break point to serve this set out. I love Tsitsipas. I mean, fair enough, Ghost. I think Tabilo is the only one who beat Novak and managed to continue the winning streak. Yeah, very rarely do you are you not able to. Very rarely are you able to beat any of the big three members and then follow it up with another victory. It's hard to put so much energy in a match against them and then keep that up and keep up the confidence afterwards and not mentally let down. That's a great serve from Jarry. He needs to make more first serves in. Really show that serve is a force on the court. Who are you backing to win Rome, Anthony? I'm backing Steph. Definitely backing Tsitsipas. I mean, Tsitsipas, I think, is the big favorite. I was saying that in the new Tennis 360 podcast that came out, which is a little bit shorter than usual, about half an hour. We just kind of outline everything that's been going on in the event so far. But yeah, I think Tsitsipas the favorite. And I mean, winning Monte Carlo, if he wins Rome, I mean, such great confidence, momentum going into Roland Garros. And he's not going to slow down. I mean, Tsitsipas one of the fittest guys around. Also Barcelona final. Steph misses a forehand long, by the way. We're at advantage. See if Jarry can close this out and at least stay close in the set with a big serve. I mean, whether he comes back in the set or not, there would have been such a big difference from Tsitsipas just cruising to a 6-1 first set and Jarry holding here. No matter what happens, this would be a big hold for Jarry. First chances in this match. Pretty poor first serve there. Right into the net. Second serve. Just not making first serves in. That was one of my crucial keys for Jarry in this match before the match began. So in the net off the forehand. I mean, just some easy errors, simple errors from Jarry. Serve Jarry out wide for Steph. The backhand of Jarry. Backhand Steph slice. Backhand volley Jarry. Steph is there at the lob. Jarry runs. It's another tweener. It's a decent attempt, though. I mean, he didn't really have that many shots to hit. And he went for a very hard tweener down the middle. He probably could have gone a little bit more high percentage with it. He kind of was going, he knew Steph would be there at the net, that he would have to play for a volley. He let the ball drop too low, and then he hit it a little bit too hard. A little too low percentage for my likings off the tweener. He probably should have just more try to get it in, because now it's Tsitsipas with a break point. Backhand, that goes out. Another big serve. He's getting these big first serves when he's down break point. That one's 227 kilometers an hour, about 141 miles per hour off the serve. That's when he's getting these big first serves. Tabilo trained in Florida. He's got more in common with Anthony than Jarry. Fair enough. See, there's a reason I like Tabilo. Rooting for him. Tommy Paul is winning Rome. Let's effing go. I remember you're a big fan of Paul. I remember watching that Paul Medvedev Indian Wells semi, and you were cheering him on. There goes. Back across court, back into Steph. That goes out. Or is that called out? 1 second. Let me see here. That's called out on Jarry's shot, actually, off at the baseline. Kind of a late call called out from Carlos Bernardes. Advantage here for Tsitsipas. Be a bit of a statement to be Nicolas Jarry 6-1 to start off this match. Just shows how good of a form Tsitsipas is in. Very similar scorelines against Alex de Minaur as well. That's another big serve. The serve, he's serving like John Isner every time he's coming up on, he's down break point. But whenever he's up game point, he's serving like Diego Schwartzman. So he's not having a great time of it, honestly. No offense to Diego. No offense to Diego. Not to throw Diego under a bus there. Serve. Catches the ball toss, does Jarry. First serve here from Jarry. Can he get a big first serve here? As he does, down the tee. Very good from Nicolas Jarry. Great serve. He's got the height to supplement his serve as well. I mean, I think he's like 6'4", 6'5". He's a tall guy. I mean, way more than that. 6'7". So yeah, he's a tall guy, which always helps with the serve. Forehand, big let's go from Jarry. That is a monster hold to show that, okay, he's in this match. That we're not just watching Tsitsipas versus Tsitsipas. Jarry is on the court. And he's, and it didn't have that much to do with Jarry playing a poor match. It was more to do with Tsitsipas just being absolutely ruthless and fantastic on a clay court at the moment. But he gets to 4-2. 4-2 for Tsitsipas as he serves, but Jarry gets the hold. And yeah, Paul is definitely playing fantastic. We'll see how he does. I had a feeling this would be one-sided. Hey, what's up, Joe? Yeah, I mean, I still think Jarry will show something in this match. I do think Tsitsipas is going to continue to play fantastic tennis, and I do think Steph is going to win. But I think Jarry's going to make it. I think Jarry's going to make it not necessarily one-sided. That's my prediction. But let's see. Forehand, the backhand of Jarry, forehand Steph. Backhand of Jarry, back cross court, backhand of Steph. Good depth again off that backhand. Goes for a backhand down lines in the net. Jarry fist bumps. He's going to be looking to make the move right here. Chilean right back in the hunt. As he wins a backhand-to-backhand exchange. Tsitsipas goes big way too early. By the way, points won on serve. Jarry, 18 for 33. Steph, 12 for 18. Steph's played 18 points on serve. Jarry's played 33. And 3/4 of those points came in the last game. Played 33 points on serve, Jarry. We're at 4-2. 37 minutes in already. Oh, hell of a forehand from Steph. I mean, not only is his backhand looking as good as ever, his forehand, I mean, Steph is just playing some of the best tennis of his career so far, to be honest. I mean, just a wicked forehand just catches the sideline. Pretty much hits that one off the rise. Jarry goes for a big return, but it's in the net, 30-15. I feel like those who have beaten Rafa and Novak stayed in the party longer than expected. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Hurkacz did pretty well. Quarterfinals, and Tabilo is absolutely killing it. So, yeah. It's been a weird tournament. A lot of it is to do with some names going out as well. But listen, it's a little bit different, though, to beat, back in the day, there would be a lot of times that somebody would beat Novak or Rafa in a close 3-set match. That's a little bit different from beating Novak or Rafa, 6-3, 6-1, and 6-3, 6-2, or whatever, 6-1, 6-2, or whatever the scores were. That's a little bit different. Even at this point, it shows that Hurkacz and Tabilo were playing some mighty good tennis. So, not that surprised. As also how locked in both of them looked during their victories. That's a great game from Tsitsipas. Hits a bad backhand unforced error to start it off, but right back locked in, gets a 5-2. Does Tabilo represent Chile purely due to his parents, or did he spend some of his youth there? Be honest, I don't know the answer. I don't know a whole lot about Tabilo outside of watching now 3 or 4 matches that he's played this year. I don't know a whole lot of info about him. But yeah, he was born in Canada. His parents are Chilean. He traveled to Santiago for the first time to compete when he was 18 years old, taking the opportunity to get to know the country. And then he moved to Chile for a year, and then was adopted by another couple who brought him closer to Chilean culture at 18 years old. Wow, age 19, settled in Chile permanently, but always dreamed of representing the country of his parents. Huh. Interesting. Well, he does represent Chile. So, okay. Well, I guess, yeah, it's the fact that it's pretty crazy. Adopted by another couple at 18 years old and staying that, then moving there permanently. At 19 years old. So, yeah, I guess he's been in Chile, living there for like 7 years. And so I guess that's why. So he considers himself Chilean now. I guess that's the story why, according to Wikipedia. And yeah, what's up, Matthew? What's up, Joe? Takoko, when I wasn't able to watch the match anymore. Egan won. Yep, Egan won. Hey, what's up, Frank? Hello. Damn, no way Tommy wins Rome. Well, I mean, listen, stranger things have happened. He's playing amazing. He's also had a pretty fast tournament, all in all. He's not played a whole lot of tennis. With the tournament this weird, I mean, Medvedev won last year. I wouldn't fully put it past a Tommy Paul. I mean, that'd be insane. I mean, Tommy Paul is basically a hard court specialist. We talk about Medvedev being a hard court specialist. So is Paul, basically. It would basically be like the two hard court specialists of the tour. Winning Rome 2 years in a row would be insane. I would love it. That would be freaking hilarious. But no, I mean, I don't think so. I don't think so. But I won't say it's impossible. But Tsitsipas is going to be a massive favorite against Paul, if we're being honest. But I won't say it's impossible. It's not impossible if Medvedev won last year. Paul's like American Demonor. I respect the hustlers. They're both workers and smart and playing beyond their physical talents. Hard not to root for them. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, Paul definitely much more aggressive and stepping inside the court than Demonor. But yeah, they're both very hard workers and clearly two of the nicest guys on the whole tour. So if you throw Diego under the bus will just roll over him, no problem. Oh man, that's cruel. I'd so-called Jarry, Jar Jar Binks. That's a good one. Backhand, the forehand Jarry, forehand Steph. Forehand Jarry is a great shot. Right on the baseline. Jarry's still fist bumping. He clearly still believes. I might have to do Jar Jar Binks when I do that play-by-play. It's pretty good. It's pretty long, but I like it. It's funny. If they're launched Breakpoint, who would be the players you'd want? If they relaunched Breakpoint, who would be the players you'd want on it? It's a great question. I just think the way they did Breakpoint was a little bit wrong. I would want the focus to be much more on the tennis rather than the kind of personal lives of the players. Would be one of the very first changes I'd make. What would be the changes I'd want for it? Or who would be the players I'd want on it? I'd want Alcaraz center. I'd want like a Monfils type, like somebody that really, the players that attract a lot of eyes, and also the players who are at the forefront of like some of the biggest stories in the sport, and they did have that. I mean, with Sabalenka and with these things, but I mean, you had Tiafoe at the U.S. Open, then right there you completely missed the Sinner Alcaraz match at the U.S. Open. That was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, there are things like that were going on where I just felt like they were not focusing on the right things. Like it didn't feel like a tennis first thing to me. Mute maybe. Yeah, Mute is interesting. Somebody like that who's a bit unpredictable and entertaining. Backhand volley, very good from Jarry as he gets another hold. I like these reactions from Jarry, not just reaction volleys, but positive reactions after winning points. Some good clay court tennis going on at the moment. Jarry closes in at the net as Tsitsipas' backhand slice just stayed up a little bit too much. 44-minute long first set, and it's Tsitsipas to serve. He did lose the first point of his last service game, but then he won 4 consecutive. Let's see what happens here. The Tsitsipas continue to serve fantastic as he has in this match so far. First serve is a let. Grew up in Canada and trained in the States, yeah. Tabilo, Chilean, the way soccer, Japanese, Shevchenko is Kazakh, yeah. Yeah, not born there, but they do represent. Back and slice, that's a bomb in the net. Ghosty in the house, Mute's an enigma for sure. I love watching Mute, man. He's one of my favorites in a weird way. I don't know why. Of all the chaotic players, he's one of my favorites. If we could group players in that way and say they're chaotic players. That's a backhand in the net from Jarry, 30 love. Hey, what's up, Joe? Ghost, let's not have any kind of hate in the chat. Let's not do that with other people in the chat. We don't want that. Forehand Steph. Backhand Jarry is a great pass, 30-15. I mean, Bublik is fun, yeah. Bublik is a good fun, for sure. Yep. Tabilo is adopted. Yeah, adopted at 18 by a different couple, so pretty interesting. They missed Joker Alcaraz and Cincy too. Yeah, a lot of things they missed, Ghost. 4015. What hate? Just the comment about Tommy Paul and with Lexi in the chat. We don't need any kind of negativity like that. Saying somebody's a hater or something like that. I just don't want to see that in the chat. Yeah, I just would rather not see stuff like that in the chat if we could avoid that. Everything else is fine, but I don't want to see anything like that. That's a good drop shot from Jarry, so we get to set point. Don't want to see that in the chat. Hurkacz only had one job today. What a bottle job. Grr. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. The third set was so chaotic. It was so... Yeah, Hurkacz was visibly frustrated by the end of it. Wouldn't mind following Jordan Thompson around. But I don't know if the average tennis fan would care. Yeah, I mean, that they had characters like that on... They had people like that on the show. For me, I would rather watch somebody else. But, I mean, everybody has a different version of what they'd want Breakpoint to have. That's a great serve from Tsitsipas with an ace down the tee, so 6-3. Hey, what's up, Joe, Lexi, everybody in the chat, Ghost. Everyone joining in so far for the first set. Let me look at the stats. Will be Stefan too. I still like what I saw from Jarry at the end of that set. I said I don't like to go back on my predictions, Joe. I started off the match saying Steph in 3. I'm gonna stick to my prediction. Although before the match started, I did confidently predict that. I was confident that Steph was gonna win at the end of the day. But I've got Jarry taking a set because they're head to head. I mean, Jarry going into this match, Jarry had won 5 of their last 7 sets. Jarry clearly likes playing Steph, and I still like what I saw from Jarry at the end of that set. So if Jarry can improve on the serve and find some patterns that can start hurting Steph a little bit more, I don't know if they exist, but then things could turn a little bit. All right, let me look at the stats the first set before we go into the second set. So Jarry increased his first serve percentage, how many first serves he was getting in by the end of the first set. And now it's at a very good spot. But unfortunately, he went 5 for 12 on second serve points 1. And just that one break point was enough for Steph to seal the set. Just that one break was enough for Steph to seal the set. I mean, this is false. What is that? Steph hit way more than 6 winners. So I don't know what this winners to unforced errors count is, but anyway. The serve stats seem about right. I mean, the serve stats are objective. The winners to unforced errors, I guess, is a little bit subjective. It's 15 love for Jarry here. Ghost, I like having you in here. I was just the one comment I felt like it's not the type of stuff I'd like to see in the chat very much, just to keep things as positive as possible. It's just how I was seeing it. I do like having you in here, though. How good is Collins looking? Can't believe that she has only lost to Saba in the last couple of months. Yeah, 19 of 20 matches. 19 of 20 matches. And I mean, losing to Sabalenka, who is absolutely playing some superb tennis at the moment, one of the best players in the world for really the last 4 or 5 years, but especially the last couple of years. I mean, to only lose to her and to play as phenomenally as she has, I mean, she just looks like a woman on a mission, honestly. The way she won Miami, she won what, like 10, 12 consecutive sets, just slamming winners, and it's hilarious. It's amazing. It's amazing. At the twilight of her career, the fact that now she's kind of stepped up to the plate. I don't know why necessarily, but it's kind of the big thing of less pressure now. I guess now that she's, saying, "Hey, I'm calling it quits," right at the end, kind of showing what she's got. But it's kind of amazing to see. That's going to be a great match. It's going to be happening as well. (40-15) here, serve from Jarry. Backhand Steph. Forehand of Jarry. Inside out is a great shot. So 1-0 for Jarry. Ace out wide from Steph to start us off. Hey, what's up, Nicholas? How are we feeling about the Steph performance? Tsitsipas free win. Well, he's in the lead at the moment. Steph is Jarry's playing a great match so far, or at least he started playing better towards the end of the first set. But yeah, Steph is in cruise control. It's honestly, I mean, Steph is making Jarry look bad. Like, Steph is playing so well. Although it's a few too many unforced errors from Jarry at this point, and not doing enough on the returner serve. I mean, we saw that in the last game of the first set. I mean, he just missed 2 easy returns to start off the last game. It's not good enough. But it's also Tsitsipas is playing so well. Forehand of Jarry at the back end of Steph. Cross court, back end of Jarry for a pass. That's in the net. 40 love. Forehand and the forehand of Jarry. Forehand of Steph. Inside out to the backhand of Jarry. Backhand, it's a drop shot from Steph. Jarry runs. Cross score is a winner. 40-15. 40-15. By the way, Tsitsipas has a great record against Tommy Paul. 6-0 in sets. 3-0 in matches. 3-0 head-to-head against Tommy Paul. I mean, fantastic record. They haven't played since 2022, but Paris 2022, Tsitsipas won in the quarterfinals 6-2, 6-4. Lyon 2021, Tsitsipas won 6-1, 6-4. 6-3, 7-5 in Washington in all the way back in 2019. But awesome record for Steph on clay courts, outdoor hard courts, and indoor hard courts, getting it done. Forehand Jarry, cross court, forehand to Steph. It's a lob, backhand, jumping up. Jarry comes to net. I'm not sure it's a great play, but Jarry's going to win this point. Smash? Maybe. That's in the net from Steph. Jarry with a fist bump trying to climb his way back up the mountain here, up the 40 love mountain. He's got one more point to go. Collins keeps on getting salty every time someone says the reason she's winning is because the pressure is off. She said, I've worked really hard this year and it's reaping the rewards. Yeah, well, that's fair enough, too. That's fair enough, too, yeah. I guess that is the thing, though, then. Collins putting in the hard work and it paying off. I guess that is the thing. Backhand, that goes out, so we're at deuce. Who's Tsitsipas' coach? His dad, I think. Yeah, he's still with, I think his dad is back coaching him, right? Pretty sure that is right. Then he had Philippoussis in, though, but I think he stopped working with him. He added in Philippoussis, then he stopped working with him. Now it's his dad, yeah. But, I mean, it's been working, so whatever works, you know. It's Apostolos. Advantage to Steph. Jarry made it deuce, but it's Steph at the line with the serve. At advantage. Second serve here from Tsitsipas. Misses the first serve by a lot. Well long. That's out from Steph, so deuce. Who's your pick for Rome? Now, I've absolutely got Tsitsipas. I've had Tsitsipas since about the round of 16. Because the draw so opened up and Steph has been looking just so solid on the clay. Stepping back from Monte Carlo, too, he looked absolutely fantastic. And listen, I mean, people shouldn't bring up the Sinner situation with the Monte Carlo victory, but not so much. It shouldn't completely encompass that conversation around Steph's Monte Carlo win, because Steph played a fantastic tournament there, and he could only do what he did with the situation. I mean, there are a few things you can make. It's not Sinner's, whatever. That whole situation is what the situation is, but it would be great to have him win another Clay Masters playing at the level he's at without anything like that being brought up when you do bring it up. That's a backhand in the net. I mean, Jarry is just missing easy backhand returns on break points and on important points. Steph doing really well to get it to that Jarry backhand. Not let Jarry crack a forehand return, but Jarry should probably start guessing. I mean, he likes hitting the backhand anyway, but he might as well kind of start guessing. It would open up the court if he does. He would probably, if he does do that, he'd like to go for a winner because Steph is so good at placement as well and would be able to hit it to the other side if he does open up the court in that way. Stepping around, hitting his forehand. Forehand, Jarry. Forehand to Steph. Back into Jarry. Forehand, Steph. That's in the net. So advantage to Jarry. Don't hate Tommy, but I'll always remember Laver Cup. Yeah. Yeah, no, I remember that situation as well, Lexi. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, everybody's got their favorites. It's just about kind of, I guess I got to kind of mod things and make sure we're not seeing any negative. I don't want any kind of negative energy in the chat with two people in the chat. I want to keep things as positive as possible. Forehand, the backhand slice of Jarry. Forehand of Steph. Inside out, the backhand of Jarry. That's in the net again. We are back to deuce. We're back to deuce. Jarry win from Bangladesh. Hey, what's up? Good to have you in here. Let's see what Jarry can do. Can Tabilo beat Zverev? Yes, he can. It's going to be really, really interesting to watch. I mean, the way Tabilo has looked all week, I actually kind of have him over Zverev. Not going to lie. I'm going to pick Tabilo. I still feel like Zverev's return of serve has a lot to be desired, especially even at the moment. And Tabilo has beaten such good players on route here, and he's been serving amazing. I feel like He hasn't lost a set yet, Tabilo. I have Tabilo kind of maybe winning even against Zverev. I don't know if he wins the final, Tabilo, but I have Tabilo reaching the final, to be honest. That's my hot prediction, my hot take or whatever. That's my big call. I've got Tabilo over Zverev. I think serve versus return is going to favor Tabilo a lot. I think Tabilo beats Z. Yeah, I agree, Lexi. I agree, Lex. Absolutely. Apostolos Idolo. Yeah, Apostolos is the GOAT. If Steph ever wins a Roland Garros, he's got to have Apostolos in the camp. Listen, there's some things that we just all know. And if Steph wins a Roland Garros, we gotta have his crazy box cheering him on when he does. It's the first serve in the net, so second serve here from Steph. Forehand to Steph, inside out, backhand Jarry, lob. That might go in. It does. Steph puts it away. So advantage to Tsitsipas. Stefanos, no mercy. Let's go. No mercy. Take no prisoners. Yeah, Steph's got to finish this off right here. Big serve. Will there be a Steph lapse of concentration in the second set? Yeah, I think it's certainly possible. It's not far from the first time I'd see it with Steph. The bigger question for me is if Jarry can step it up on the big points, which he's not doing at all at the moment, as he misses a backhand return on break point. It's happened multiple times now. So we're at 1-1. I hope so, but can't see it. Okay. Joe, listen, at this point, I've said before, your predictions are quite good, to be honest. I've seen in the chat, so. Oh no, you're good, Lexi. Talking about favorites is more than allowed. I just don't want to see other people in the chat, going at each other. I just kind of have to gauge that. I just felt like it was a bit but yeah, no, I mean, you're fine. Everything's fine. Come on, Steph, hold now. He did get the hold. Now it's love 15. So who will win second set? Let's see. I don't know. At this point, it does feel like Tsitsipas definitely has the momentum, but I'm still not going to back down from my Jarry pick to win the second set. Let's see. It's been getting closer. He's nearly at 2-0 serving, so wasn't able to convert on the break points. We'll see if he learns from that, if he gets more chances. Going to be hard for Steph to sustain the level from the first set, and it was a great sign for Jarry to be able to hold in that 4-1, 15-minute long game. Forehand Steph, inside out, forehand to Jarry, backhand Steph. Forehand Jarry, forehand now. Jarry forehand cross court, forehand to Steph. Backhand Jarry down the middle. Forehand to Steph, inside out, backhand Jarry. Backhand to Steph. That goes out. Jarry with a great backhand to backhand rally there. Really attacking Steph. Not even Klayler Fritz could beat Zverev. Yeah, exactly. Not even Klayler. Come on. I saw something funny. Last year it was Klaydev, and this year it's Klayler. Absolutely true. Yes, let's go to Bilo. Yep. But Z was beaten by Cerundolo, so I'm backing the clay quarters from High Altitude Nation. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. They know how to play the clay. It's a great forehand from Jarry. The forehand inside out. I'll be quite happy with my Jarry second set prediction if it comes to fruition, because I still stood by it when it was when Jarry had just fumbled that last game. It was down left 15 this game. But we'll see. It's a big forehand. Steph finding himself more and more further behind the baseline. I mean, he's been pretty good in this match, I think, by not finding himself, by keeping his court positioning pretty much inside the court. That's in. I mean, Steph is checking the call, but that looked in. So, Steph is really looking at this call. But it's an ace for Jarry. Come on, Stefanos, take and break. Yep. But it's 40-15. Dios mío, Stefanos, hold. Come on, Stefanos, break. Couldn't do it there as Jarry holds his own serve for 2-1. Steph 6-4. Okay, I'm going to go Jarry 7-5. I'm going to say Jarry 7-5. That's my prediction for the set. Let's see. Let me know your predictions. Hey, what's up, Amir? Good to have you in here. Appreciate you jumping in, watching the tennis. 2-1 here. Does Goff have any chance against Iga tomorrow? Iga just beat Coco earlier today, so that semifinals already happened, Joe. I was not able to watch it. I wasn't able to watch it earlier today, but that semifinal ended a little while ago. Swiatek will take on Sabalenka and the winner of Sabalenka and Collins. Forehand volley missed from Steph, so it's far from the first time I've seen Steph just absolutely dominating a set and then kind of lapsing, having a bit of a mental lapse in the second set. I just feel like Jarry could be here when that happens. Let's see. Wow, I missed it. Yeah, no, I missed it as well. But yeah, that happened earlier today. Steph, I saw just a few in the first set and I wasn't able to finish it. I think a lot of people were not able to watch it as well. A lot of people are working as well. Joe told me she lost. Wow, yeah. Coco will be back. Coco will be back. She's going to win something big this year, Coco. She's going to win something big this year. Backhand slice from Jarry goes out, so 40-15 for Steph. Oh, what a backhand down the line from Steph. Bringing out a bit of a Stanislas Wawrinka type of backhand. I see it's a winner down the line. Hell of a shot. That backhand is at its peak. That backhand is at the peak of its powers, honestly. Alcaraz, luckily, it seems like is healthy to play the Roland Garros. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. If Alcaraz is at his full flight and full form, he's going to be a massive favorite to take the title, isn't he? That's what it seems like at the moment. But I don't want to discount Tsitsipas. Even if Alcaraz is at his best, it'll be interesting. But certainly, Tsitsipas' backhand being as good as it is, especially because Alcaraz likely won't be at his very best. Alcaraz, Tsitsipas having that backhand against Alcaraz is going to be very crucial, potentially. Backhand of Steph. Forehand of Jarry. That goes out. 15 all. Serve out wide. It's called good, but Tsitsipas thinks it's out. Tsitsipas seems convinced it's out. Let's see here. Steph is convinced it's out. Big controversy here. Carlos Bernardus is convinced it's in. Stefanos is absolutely convinced it's out. Steph can't believe it. But why is the camera not showing the mark? It showed it for 1 second, then it left. I want to see the mark again. I want to see the mark again. There we go. Well, they're showing Hawkeye. Hawkeye says it's in. Okay. That's something. Hawkeye says it's good. It did look in when it happened. It's sometimes hard to tell with these marks, especially on this court. It's just hard to tell. Backhand. Oh, what a backhand from Jarry. I just feel like Jarry's coming in this set. I feel like Nicolas Jarry has something for the set. Are you anything I forgot to ask you? You're enjoying your tennis matches, right? Yeah, I'm playing tennis. It's been fun. I won a 3-setter the other day. It was quite funny, actually. It's a small story after this. Oh, backhand return from Stefanos just lands out. Jarry leaves it. 3-2 for Jarry as he holds his serve. Yeah, I won a 3-set match the other day. Lost the first set, and then I won the next 2 sets 6-1, 6-3. Was happy with it. Trying to play more and more singles. Playing on the singles league, a tennis ladder nearby. At the moment, just kind of getting my singles tennis to get better and better at the moment. As I'm back playing tennis, I took a break for like 5 years for playing tennis, for anybody who doesn't know, but now I'm back playing. And it was funny because we were originally going to play at a park, but neither of us booked the court, and all of the courts were taken up. So we went to a neighborhood, my neighborhood courts instead. And my neighborhood doesn't have lights, but it was just a good, convenient place to play. And we played out a 3-set match, very long rallies. This guy was like crazy on defense. He was often hitting short balls, but then when I would go to attack the balls, and I feel like I'm pretty good at attacking balls, the guy was so fast. He was like Alex Demonor on defense. He would not hit a lot of winners, but he would be so good at neutralizing the point. And in the first set, I shouldn't have lost the first set, but I was hitting too many unforced errors trying to finish off the points, just in a few crucial moments. But anyway, we played 3 sets, very long 3 sets with a lot of long rallies with him defending a lot. And basically, it got dark because we started the match at like 6 p.m. or something. It started getting dark, and the guy said, hey, it's kind of getting dark and harder to see. Do you want to finish the match tomorrow? And it was already like, I was serving for the match at 5-3 or 5-2. I served for the match at 5-2, and I folded on my own serve. And then basically he said, okay, I said, okay, do you want to play one more game? And then if not, we'll come back tomorrow. And it's kind of tough because the guy lives like 30 minutes away. So I didn't really want to reschedule because who knows, we might not ever finish the match. So anyway, I had one more game. And I was like, okay, I have to absolutely win this game. If I win this game, like I should have held my own serve and finished the match off by serving out the match. Then I'll get it done. The guy starts off the game by going up 30-love, but then I win 4 consecutive points and I win the match. So that was fun. I also hit a tweener, by the way, on the second to last point, which doesn't sound real, but that did happen. So anyway, crazy situation where I haven't had that happen before, where we're really beating like time because I don't even know if I'm going to be able to finish the match. But luckily, I won the last game by winning 4 consecutive points, and we got to finish the match. But yeah, anyway, that happened the other day. But yeah, tennis is a lot of fun. I'm playing that a lot. I also want to play more disc golf. That's a lot of fun for me to play. But I definitely am trying to do more athletic stuff, which is fun. I'm playing a lot of tennis. Also went on a run a couple days ago. So doing a few athletic things like that, but playing tennis is so fun. Singles in particular. Yeah, Jarry's tweener, I see it all over social media earlier in the match. That was definitely the shot of the match. Really great tweener that he hit earlier in the match at, I think, 3-1. 15-all here for Tsitsipas. Let's see if he can hold his serve. Keep holding his serve. Backhand slice for Steph. Inside out. Back in Jarry. That's in the net. That backhand is really, I mean, it's just a lot of backhand unforced errors from Jarry. I don't mind him going for it because that's what's worked in their past matches, but he's just missing all of them. Like into the net, low into the net. So, yeah, I'm doing pretty well. How are you, Lexi? Coco's definitely getting better as the year progresses. I can see her retaining her title of the U.S. this year, something someone hasn't done for a while. That'd be amazing. Who's the last 2-time winner of the U.S. in the WTA? You mean like back-to-back champion? Sorry, I forgot about Osaka winning twice. Yeah, she won twice. Yep. Osaka will be back for sure. She is, yeah. I'm going to check Insta. Did you post anything? I did not post my own match. No, I didn't post it. I need to post more on Instagram in general. I really should. And on Twitter as well. But I've been tired. Honestly. I've had a lot of other stuff to focus on. I've been doing a lot of stuff over the last few months, also with the tennis stuff. So just kind of at that moment. Sorry, that's my end. That's in the net from Jarry, so 3-3. That music was from me. But yeah, so anyway, I'm taking like a slight kind of mental break, not going as crazy with like posting tennis stuff at the moment, I think, which is something I just need, but I'm still doing stuff. Like I just wrote an article, did Tennis 360 podcast, doing a few of these live streams, and also I've recorded a couple of videos from my own channel, so I'm still doing some stuff, but definitely a little bit less, and then I'll hopefully be more rejuvenated that's the hope, but we'll see what all happens. But the hope is to be more rejuvenated for tournaments later on in the year. It's the hope. So backhand into the net, so love 15. Coco will only retain her title if Oprah or... Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Coco's playing great. She's starting to play really well on the clay. So I don't know as much about U.S. Open. I think, but I really want her to do something big on the clay courts. I would love her to really confirm her spot on the clay as well. Like the Olympics or Roland Garros. I would love to see her perform big there. It seems like Swiatek's going to be a big favorite, though. But let's see. Love 30 for Tsitsipas. Similar scoreline to when they played last year in Monte Carlo. 6-3, 6-4 for Steph. Let's see if Jarry can have one more very solid hold here. He needs some big serves. First serve is a let. Second serve, Jarry, the backhand of Steph. Forehand of Jarry. Cross court, forehand of Steph is very good. Very low over the net, backhand. Cross court, the backhand of Jarry, forehand. Stefano's building out the point very well. Just hitting all over the court. Great placement. Forehand again goes behind Jarry. I mean, Steph just knows how to play on a clay court, doesn't he? Steph just knows how to play on a clay court. This guy is looking like somebody who's going to do something big at Roland Garros. And it's hard to feel like Steph is very reliable a lot of the time. It's hard to rely on Steph, but he looks like he could do something big at Roland Garros. If he continues on this momentum. Love 40, 3 break points. Jarry serve. The forehand of Steph, slice. The forehand of Jarry. Back into Steph, defending, lob. Way up high. Stefanos ready behind the court. Smash. Steph gets it, does he? Oh, that would have been unreal. Lexi will be happy with that statement, Anthony. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I just really think that Steph is somebody to look out for Roland Garros this year. Also, I mean, winning Monte Carlo 3 of the last 4 years. When is his confidence on a clay court ever going to be higher? I mean, is he going to win Monte Carlo next year too? Maybe, but right now he's got to be at peak confidence on the clay court. He feels like when that clay court swing comes around, he's going to be winning big titles and being one of the guys to look out for big time. It's a great serve out wide from Jarry. He needs one more here, 30-40. Needs one more here. Like I've been saying throughout the stream, Jarry's done very well against Steph in the past. He is leading the head-to-head, leading it 3-2. He has a winning head-to-head against Steph, but not on clay. But that is a great serve from Jarry out wide. Deuce. Back to deuce. Jarry with an absolute giant roar after he hit that ace. It's a great shot, goes behind Steph. Steph defending off the forehand. Forehand inside out. Let's go, Jarry. Let's go. Advantage for the Chilean. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Mwah. He's definitely somebody to look out for, Lex. Somebody to look out for, Lexi. But it is Jarry here who's stepped up himself. You're watching it live? I am watching it live, yes. I'm watching it live. X2A. Backhand of Steph. The forehand of Jarry. Forehand of Steph for a pass. He misses a big roar from the Chilean as he gets to 4-3. Listen, tennis is a mental game, and is it Jarry, at least in the set, who maybe is going to be mentally the one, mentally the stronger? We'll see. You just have to have the game to pressure Steph's backhand. Yeah, I agree. And Jarry's had it a lot in the past, so. If ever, when was the last time Z and Stefanos met in the Masters final? I don't think they ever have. They've played some good matches. I remember kind of virtually the final, but it was really the semifinal of Canada, I think. They played against each other, Lexi. I don't think they've played in the final. Which I guess you wouldn't really expect necessarily that they would have a whole lot. Especially because they're both so good on clay, and at least Rafa or Novak would make the finals a lot of the time. But yeah, they've actually only ever played in one final against each other. That was in Acapulco in 2021. So they've played in semifinals a lot. Actually, on 5 consecutive occasions, they played in the semifinals of 4 different Masters. Also, they played 4 times in a row in Masters semifinals. Cincinnati, Monte Carlo, Madrid, and Rome. 2022, they played in the semifinal of Monte Carlo, Madrid, and Rome. That's crazy. Tsitsipas won twice. Zverev won once in Madrid. That tracks. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting head-to-head, but they've never played in a big final. In fact, I don't think they've ever played at a slam. Yeah, these two have never played. No, they played at a slam once. They played at a slam once, Roland Garros 2021, where Stefanos won the first two sets, Zverev won the next two, and then Stefanos won the fifth set. That's so crazy, because then the match right after that, Steph led Djokovic 2 sets up, and then Djokovic actually completed the comeback, which Zverev was not able to do. Man. Or he's Chile too. Yeah, Jarry's from Chile. Yes, Chilean. Two Chileans in the semis. Wow, yeah. Dios mío, Stefanos, what are you doing? Well, Jarry's in the quarters, to be fair, but he could get to the semis. That would be insane. Surely the first time in history. Dios mío, Stefanos, what are you doing? All right, 30 love here at 3-4, but he did let that last game go. And I just feel like that's something Sinner and Alcaraz would not have let go maybe as easily as, or Djokovic or Rafa, you know. But Jarry played incredibly well to get that going. But that game is when those guys would have absolutely just put everything on the line to win that game. Everything. I mean, Tsitsipas should win this match anyway. It doesn't seem like that was life or death, but those guys would treat that game like life or death. They're like, okay, let me close this out right now. I don't even want to give Jarry a chance. I don't want Jarry to pick up any kind of rhythm or momentum or confidence. Nothing. It's a great shot from Steph as Jarry can't get to that forehand. So 4-4. Moment of truth in the second set. Sabalenka Collins is going to be fantastic coming up next. Excited for that. Sabalenka just beat Collins. She's the only player that's beaten Collins in her last 20 matches. Forehand, inside in, very good down that ad side line. 15 love. Joe, you said 6-4. Let's see. Backhand miss from Steph. Steph still might win the set, but it does look like it might be a little bit closer. Let's see. Backhand Steph. That's in the ground, so 40 love. ¿Qué estás haciendo, Steph? Chat has turned Spanish. It's backhand the net. Jarry holds for 5-4. I've seen this a couple times from Steph. And Jarry's playing really well, so Jarry at 5-4. He's a game away from taking the second set, pushing it 3 sets. We're still just on serve, though. But Jarry's done very well to get to this point. Because Stefanos was at love 40. It looked like he was going to crack this thing open. Or actually, I think the last one was 15-40. Earlier in the set, I think he broke out love 40. But still, big chance for Steph. And went away. 5-4. This game really feels like a bit of a moment of truth. Let's see what all happens. Steph's serve gets stuck in the middle of the net. Steph's first serve percentage has gone down quite a bit, by the way, and the second serve points one is not that high. From 82% first serves in to 65, which isn't that bad, but it's definitely gotten less. Forehand goes out from Steph. Left 15. Watch out for Jarry here. Watch out for Jarry. It's a good serve from Steph out wide. Does feel like this has become a bit more of a serving contest at this point. A little bit. Feels like we've had shorter points in the set than we've had in the first set. By the way, first serves on return for Steph, 45%. For Jarry, it's 35%. I definitely felt that in the first set. I felt like Jarry's just all of his serves were being returned. Oh, wow. Very awkward, weird serve from Steph. It was out almost the whole way. It was out nearly the whole way, and it just spun inside the court and kind of had a weird bounce, I think, off the line. And then Jarry hit this kind of awkward shot that hit the top of the net, and it decided to go back on his own side, so he lost the point. That's a let from Steph. Be another first serve here. Forehand Steph. Very good from the Greek. 40-15. A lot of shorter points, I feel like. Is it just me, or are we starting to have like much shorter points than we had a lot of times throughout that first set? I mean, we've had quite a few winners and unforced errors. It's not like throughout any of this match we've had like a David Ferrer-Gilles Simon contest or anything. Shot goes right off the line from Jarry, and then Stefanos misses a forehand in the net. It's a big point. It's a big, big point coming. Steph wants a first serve. Avoid trouble. Here we go. Oh, that was the stat I wanted. Well, they showed the stat for 1 second, then they went away from it. But first of all, it is true. Baseline points, that they showed it, and it was way more in the first set than second. Here we go. So altogether, 39-30. There were about 40 baseline points in the first set, and fewer games than we've had here, and just 30 in this set. And also, it seems like Jarry is doing much better in the baseline points, much closer than it was in the first set. In the first set, it was like 26 for Stefanos and 13 for Jarry for baseline points. In this set, 16 for Steph and 14 for Jarry. So Jarry is doing way better on the baseline exchanges. I mean, Bernardo's checking the line call. What is this call here? Bernardo's again calling the Tsitsipas shot out. Tsitsipas is not happy about it. Tsitsipas is going to be debating with Bernardes here. Wow. Some drama going on. Tsitsipas again upset with Bernardes about the line call. And that's a big moment to happen. I said it was a big point. We're back to deuce, 2 points away. 2 points away. It's a great serve from Steph. It's forehand return just catches the sideline from Jarry. Forehand inside out, backhand of Jarry. Backhand Steph is a drop shot. Oh, Jarry can't get there. That's a fantastic point from Steph. Hopefully Jarry didn't hurt himself there. Feeling out his hand a little bit. Is Jarry maybe trying to wipe some dirt off? Jarry actually on the sideline on his on the side pouring water on his hand. Trying to get the dirt off, the clay off. Yeah, really good reading of the game by Steph by hitting that drop shot. He saw the opportunity and he took it. It wasn't necessarily an easy shot to pull off, but for Steph, he can pull that off, and that was a good shot selection there. Steph here with the serve. The back end of Jarry, forehand of Steph. Oh, that's a great forehand. A huge reaction from Steph. We've seen it this whole week. A lot of big reactions from Steph. Man on a mission. So he gets to 5-5. I did say 7-5 Jarry, but let's see. Let's see. I did say 7-5 Jarry, but Steph with a good hold there. Hey, what's up, Max? Do you think tennis will ever bring in energy level readings for future matches? That would be awesome. I'd love it. I think that would be really cool to see. What's up? Tiebreaker incoming. Could be Rennie. Very well could be. It's been a very close for second set. Not as many baseline points, like I said, but it's been very tight between the two. This is a baseline point. Forehand of Jarry, the forehand of Steph. Back and Jarry, it's in the net. Love 15 for Tsitsipas. Can he break away right here? He's got to do it right here. Put on a killer face. Finish it off. Let's see if he can. I just get the feeling that it's not going to end right here, though. I could always be wrong. That could age poorly. But I just don't think it ends right here. I think Jarry holds. But let's see. It is love 15 for Tsitsipas to start off. Let's see. Serve from Jarry. The backhand of Steph. Backhand of Jarry. Steph has to jump to get out of the way of it. Love 30. I might bite my words because once again Steph has a lead. Go 7-5 Stefanos. It's looking possible. Love 30. By the way, guys, please don't forget to subscribe to Quality Shot Tennis if you have not already. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by. There's a million other things you could be doing at the moment, but appreciate everybody stopping by the live stream. Backhand Steph. Forehand Jarry. Backhand Steph. It's in the ground. Again, what is up with his net? His shot got stuck in the net. 15-30. Huge moments here for Jarry. It's a good run for Jarry anyway, by the way. I really hope that Jarry can have a big run at Roland Garros and have a big run at a big event. That's kind of what Jarry's been missing, is having big runs at big tournaments. Good for Chilean tennis, though. 2 guys in the top 25 now from Chile. If Tabilo wins a semifinal, he could be ranked as high as number 21 in the world. Second serve from Jarry was a let, so he will hit another one. Forehand Jarry, that goes out. So 15-40 for Tsitsipas as he gets 2 break points. Imagine Tabilo winning Rome. Wow. Out of nowhere, right? That would be insane. Beating Djokovic on the way, really announcing himself to the tour. The question is, if he does that, is that going to be the start of him really winning Masters and doing big things on the circuit? Because the guy's 26. I mean, he's got some time. He's not the youngest guy around, but he's got time. He's definitely got time. I mean, Wawrinka won his first major at 29, and then he jumped into the top 10 as a mainstay, really. Kind of did in 2013, 2012, but top 5 for sure. Backhand forehand to Steph. Oh, it's a bad shank from Steph. I don't know what that was exactly. Completely missed it. Could see it on his face too. Just kind of mentally not there for it. Sometimes it's not a battle against your opponent, it's a battle against yourself on a tennis court. Actually, that's kind of always what it is. Another serve coming here from Jarry at 30-40. Both guys trying to get to the Rome semifinals. Break point number 2. Serve Jarry. Oh, it's called out. It was very close, though, down the tee. The serve. Stefanos, absolutely. Like, that was out. Come on. Give this one to me. Second serve kicked. Backhand Steph is a very good second serve. Forehand big. Backhand slice. Forehand. I mean, Jarry could not have played that point any more ballsy. Any better. Gutsy is the word I would describe that point. Absolutely ballsy from Jarry. I mean, come on, man. The guy hit a huge second serve perfectly into the corner, then some big forehands. Neither guy been able to break in this set so far, but they've had 7 break points altogether. Jarry has faced 5 so far. Steph has faced 2. We're at 5-5 deuce. Locked in. Tied up. Deadlock tie. Forehand big. Backhand Jarry. That's an unbelievable shot. That's an unbelievable shot. Jarry with a big fist bump gets to advantage. Margins have been very small. Stefanos had a huge return there. Jarry just kind of had to react and just kind of bunted it like a pickleball. Bunted it like a pickleball. But it was much more difficult than pickleball. And a much more enthusiastic reaction than maybe you'll often see in pickleball. I don't know, but that's a good hold from Jarry. He gets a 6-5. Bunted it like a pickleball. Great shot there, and then a great serve, so he gets a 6-5. Jarry is one game away from finishing it off. But, being in the semis is quite an achievement. I'm sure the Tennis and Federation Chile is happy with their run. Yeah, absolutely. And quarterfinals. Both guys, I think, will be very excited with their runs. If Jarry could somehow win, then he'd get to his career high of number 18 in the world. Tsitsipas, despite that great game, Tsitsipas is still the big favorite to win this, but if he does, that would be the case. And, yeah, even if Tabilo doesn't win the title, I agree. Because how many times has that happened in the last 20 years? I mean, Fernando Gonzalez was a great player for Chile, but since Gonzalez, am I forgetting somebody? But I feel like we haven't had that many runs to semis of Masters since Gonzalez. Marcelo Rios, Fernando Gonzalez, Nicolas Massou. Those are some, but yeah, I just feel like this is a great tournament to get Chilean tennis right back on the map. Zverev did have that fall last night. He might be feeling sore today. Yeah, something to keep an eye on. I have Tabilo. We'll see. When you have a fall, you normally feel it more the next day. Yeah, that's honestly pretty true too. With a lot of injuries, that's true. You don't feel it right away, which a lot of people don't realize. Or you don't feel that as much right away. I can't remember, Tabilo, did he play in the clay tourneys? Because I swear I only started following him after beating Novak. Yeah, he was. I actually don't think he performed as well in the Golden Swing as he did in a lot of the other events. But he got to the final, lost to Baez at somewhere. Lost to Baez somewhere in the final of Chile Open. Lost to Baez in the final. Took the first set, then lost the second, third set, 6-0, 6-4. But he beat Darderi, beat Mute. That was in Chile. Indian Wells, Miami. Like I said, some decent losses. To Fritz at Indian Wells is not a bad loss. He made it pretty close. To Dimitrov in Miami. The way Dimitrov was playing in Miami, like a man on an absolute mission. Some of the best tennis I've seen anyone play over the last couple of years, and I'll stand by that statement against Alcaraz in the quarters there. What was that? It's called out from the Steph serve. I heard about the fall. That's why I thought he lost. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that's a bit awkward. Jarry with an extended grunt, backhand down the line, but he misses it. Wrist in hand, but it was left hand. Left wrist, I reckon. Yeah, hopefully everyone, I mean, we keep getting injuries. Hopefully everyone is healthy moving forward. I heard that if Sinner doesn't play the French Open, he can be the new number one of the rankings. Yeah, if Djokovic doesn't reach the final, Sinner's number one, period, which would be insane. I hope Sinner can play it, though. And Djokovic very well might reach the final, especially with the depleted field. We'll see. Backhand loss match, Jarry. 3 points away. 3 points away is Jarry. I did say Jarry 7-5. Let's see. 3 points away. I haven't gotten a prediction right in a long time. I'll be honest. I feel like I started off pretty well on the channel when I do predictions. Last couple of months, I feel like I've been very wrong a lot of the times. But let's see. Jarry 3 points away here. Tsitsipas with the serve. Serve from Tsitsipas. Forehand of Jarry. Forehand of Steph. Backhand Jarry for a pass. Forehand Steph is in the net. 2 points. I mean, Jarry has played so many more points on serve than Steph has overall. But he would be looking for his third break point of the match. Sorry, of the set, not of the match. Let me just look at points played on serve, period. Backhand Steph is a shank. Steph in these moments just is a bit mentally folding a little bit there with the backhand shank. Oh, man, oh, man. $15.40, Jarry with 2 break points. Serve, backhand Jarry. Forehand Steph, that goes out! Jarry with the big reaction. He takes the second set. We're going 3 sets. We're going 3 sets. I did say Jarry 7-5. It is Jarry 7-5. My prediction was Steph in 3 with the 7-5 second set for Jarry. Seems to have come true. Wow, what a set of tennis by Jarry. Steph should have done better on his chances there. But Jarry pulling through clutch. Man, if Jarry wins this, puts 2 Chileans in the top 20, in the semifinals, and just pushes the draw so wide open as well. It'd be crazy. Zverev, Tabilo, Tommy Paul, and Nicolas Jarry could be a semifinals of a Masters. That's crazier than Madrid. We thought Madrid was crazy. That's even crazier. I mean, in Madrid, you had, Rublev and, you had all the circumstances around everything. FA, Lehechka, Fritz, Rublev, Fritz. Here, that would be even crazier. Zverev, Jarry, Tabilo, and Tommy Paul would be pretty crazy for Rome Masters semifinals. We thought last year's Rome was crazy. Hey, what's up, Rennie? Stefanos, wake up. Come on, yeah. Unfortunate from Steph at the end there. Hope Yannick's hip injury can heal quickly. Yeah, I'm kind of expecting that he might not play Roland Garros. I wrote out an article for anybody who doesn't know, we have a new website. Quality Shot Tennis has a new website, qualityshottennis.com. So you can check that out for different blogs and stuff like that. We have a whole website that has a lot of cool stuff on it for latest stuff, for latest streams and latest social media updates, and just our tweets on social media talking about tennis and a lot of other stuff. And like I said, different blogs and articles. I wrote an article about Sinner and his chances for Roland Garros after pulling out of Rome. And I kind of think he might not play because he's very smart and thoughtful about his schedule, Yannick, and he's not going to force anything. He knows he's got loads of time. If he feels like there's a genuine risk of making an injury chronic, and doctors are really highly considering telling him to rest. I think, unfortunately, very unfortunately, Sinner might not play Roland Garros. That's my feelings at the moment. If he does play, I think he'll be maybe the top favorite of the event. I don't know, or at least one of the favorites. We'll see how Alcaraz looks as well. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. I do hope Sinner heals up quick. How's that possible? I mean, Sinner won't play and then plays. But if lost, he loses his number one. So confusing. No, Sinner would be number one no matter what. Even if Sinner does play and lose, he'd be number one as well. It would just be Djokovic because Sinner's now won Australian Open, Miami, Canada, and such consistent results since, especially Beijing. Few 500s, ATP Finals final. I mean, Sinner has had such great results. And Djokovic, he'd still have Paris, ATP Finals, Wimbledon Final, US Open, but Sinner would just eclipse him a little bit. And that would be no matter what if Djokovic doesn't reach the final. So it has nothing to do with Sinner, all to do with Djokovic. Jarry wins the first point, by the way, so we're at 15-love. But yeah, Steph, if Djokovic doesn't reach the final, Sinner's number one as far as I'm concerned. Damn it, yeah. Finish it, Stefano, so I can drive now. It's past 2 a.m. in Manila. I'm the only one left in the building. Damn. Sucker, yeah. Dang. Third set. Some smart Alex said 7-5. Yeah, I said 7. I had the prediction right. I've said I haven't had a whole lot recently, but I'm happy with that. Happy with that one. That goes out. Yeah, the Steph second set lapse of concentration. Exactly. I did feel like maybe, I don't know. I've seen it before, but hope you can go home quickly. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 2 a.m. is crazy. I know beforehand that Jarry is a tricky opponent, and he's been tricky against Steph in the past as well. I mean, Jarry has now won, if I could count, 6 of the last 9 sets that he's played against Steph. 6 of the last 9 across 3 different surfaces. So he's a tough opponent for Steph. I mean, just that stat by itself. Back in cross court, back into Steph, and he does lead that 10. He leads it. It's not just neutral. He's winning that 10. Forehand goes out. Jarry at 40-love. He's in cruise control. 40-love. 40-love. I don't mind a third set, but I don't think Lexi's heart can take much more. Be back, fans. Be nice. All right, no problem, Lexi. Hope you come back. Hey, what's up, Gene? 1 out of 10 on break points for Steph. That's a good stat, and thanks for bringing that one up. Yeah. What's up? I don't want the Coco and Iga rivalry to be one side of Iga frequently winning, but Coco's got to improve and step it up. But the way Swiatek's been playing on clay at Rome, I mean, she looks unstoppable at the moment. So it's going to take a lot for Coco to get something done in that head-to-head, unfortunately. But I do believe that with time she could. All right, 1-0. All right, I'll be right back in a moment, guys. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back for the rest of this one. Here we go. Third set. Big third set in this clay court swing. Also, big set for Steph's confidence momentum going into Roland Garros as well. So he gets to 40-15. Big showdown here. Steph versus Jarry. (40-15). Steph first serve down the tees. Continues to be very good on his own serve, but he could be better on the return in that second set, or at least taking more of his chances. Let me look at the second set stats overall. I mean, the winner's to unforced errors, I've learned, has clearly been very off on this site. But I mean, take this with a grain of salt, but there you go. But for the rest of the stats, I mean, Jarry 7 for 10 on second serve points. That's really good in that second set. Saved all 5 of his break points that he faced. So those are 2 of the biggest stats for sure. It's a big serve from Jarry. 15-love. We've had less and less baseline points as the match has gone by, and that's a good sign for Jarry because he was not doing very well in those baseline rallies at all. I did say after the first set, Jarry could figure out something in terms of better patterns in this match, then he could have a better chance here. Well, what he's figured out is to just have less rallies altogether. Have less rallies altogether. He picked it up on his serve, which has helped. Second serve, backhand of Steph. The forehand of Jarry. Backhand of Steph. Forehand of Jarry is a drop shot. That's in the net, though. 15-all. 15-all. I won't lie. A part of me kind of wants absolute chaos at this event, to be honest, because we've already seen such crazy chaos at this tournament to just go all in on it, I mean, people are going to look back at these tournaments. People are going to look back on when we had 2-week Masters pretty much back to back to back on clay, going from Monte Carlo to Madrid to Rome, Madrid is very different conditions. So that makes it not easy on the body either, aside from how physical it is playing on clay. So loads of injuries and the draws being so weird. People are going to look back on this moment and these Masters events being like, what happened? Like, what happened? The champions so far have not been so weird. I mean, they've been former Clay Masters champions, Rublev and Tsitsipas. We could have Zverev, who has also won a Clay Masters before in the past. But if you actually look at the draws themselves, with FA last week, and I mean, people are going to be like, what happened? Like Tabilo versus Tabilo in the semis, FA versus Lehechka. People are going to look back on these Masters in like 5 years and be like, what happened? So part of me kind of wants Jarry to completely crack this thing open and complete chaos. Another part of me wants Tsitsipas to keep going as a front runner at the moment because he seems like one of the top favorites going into Roland Garros because he's in form, he's healthy. That's more than you can say for everybody else. Backhand, forehand of Jarry, forehand of Steph. Forehand Jarry, it goes out, goes for a big forehand. He misses it. 15-40. Reminds me of Los Cabos. Reminds me of Los Cabos a couple of, was it last year? Los Cabos last year. Because in Los Cabos, it was Steph lost the first set, and he won the second set in a tiebreaker, and then 6-2 in the third set. Very one-sided third set score for Tsitsipas after 2 very close sets. Let's see if Steph pulls away again. Backhand for a pass. That's in the net. That's more what I'm used to seeing with Steph off the backhand, and it makes sense that the hardship and mental difficulty of playing big points kind of brings his backhand down a level. Back to what I'm used to seeing from Tsitsipas. Hey, what's up, Maynor? Can you tell me if Jarry Tabilo final can be a thing? So the winner of this one will take on Tommy Paul. And the next one's Tabilo versus Zverev. So yes, it can be. Jarry Tabilo can be a final, which is hilarious, actually. Very well could be. I mean, if Jarry can pull through here, but we'll see. Backhand, big point. Backhand the forehand of Jarry. Forehand of Steph defending. Goes out. Can't even hear the crowd. All you can hear is Jarry with a big, elongated. Come on. As the ball floats out. We are at deuce. Deuce yet again. In Rome. Under the lights. Or not really under the lights, but in this crazy night session. Here we go. Total points won, by the way, 80 for both players. That's a lot of points. You don't usually see that many points from a best of three. I mean, it's been a long match. Pretty long match. 2 hours, 7 minutes, just starting the third set. So could possibly get to 3+ hours by the end of it if it keeps going the way it has. I mean, it's not been the longest match ever, especially the first set was 49 minutes, but already 15 minutes in the third set, over an hour in the second set. Forehand of Steph, forehand of Jarry. That goes out, so back to deuce. It's another big moment and big test of Jarry to see if he can hold yet again. If Jarry holds here, I'll tell you what, then it will feel like Jarry has the momentum, to me. Not firmly, but it will feel like Jarry has the momentum. After winning that second set, and after Stefanos having so many chances on the Jarry serve and not being able to pull through, and Jarry clutching up, it will feel like Jarry has the momentum to me. That first serve is well wide, going down the tee. Second serve for the Chilean. Forehand of Steph, the forehand of Jarry. That's a shank out. So advantage to Tsitsipas. It is a big if, though, of Jarry holding here. It's a big if. If not, I'm rooting for Tsitsipas. No, it can't. Yeah. No, it can't happen. It's below Jarry. Match can happen. I mean, Jarry, yeah. So, yeah, Jarry to Bilo would be hilarious. That'd be a win for Chile. 1 for 12 on break points for Steph. Let's see if he doesn't make it 1 for 13. Jarry wins today. Let's see. Serve Jarry. Everything comes down to these moments. Forehand. Forehand of Jarry. Backhand Steph. Forehand of Jarry. Backhand Steph again. Down the line. Forehand of Jarry. Slides into it. Backhand Steph. Backhand Jarry. It's been great clay court tennis here. Backhand Jarry. Cross court forehand of Steph. Forehand Jarry. Cross court forehand of Steph. Goes big. It's a squash shot in the ground. Stefano says, I am not going 1 for 13 on break points. 2 for 13, which is not good either, but it's better. Steph at 2-1. He gets the lead. Stefanos Tsitsipas is up a break on Nicolas Jarry. 2 for 13 is at least better. It's at least better, you know. Steph was literally 5 points away, up 5-5, 40. I didn't know you could be 40-16. Up 5-5, 40-15. No, I got you. So, yeah. Yeah, he was close. Jarry kept clutching up and pulling through. Steph was so close in that third set, but it's very mentally strong from Steph to be able to pull through in this third set anyway. I feel like Steph is very good at that. Steph is very good at compartmentalizing, it seems like. And even if he kind of lets something go, he's good at kind of figuring it out anyway, which is, it looks silly at times. Like, he can do silly things out there, but it's all about getting the win at the end of the day. And he doesn't always do that, but he can do that pretty impressively at times. So, finally, that took way too long, yeah. No, I bet you were keeping track of that stat, Gene. 2-1. 2-1. By the way, let me know in the chat, who do you think's winning Roland Garros? I know on the women's side, we're going to have a lot of Swiatek's, right? Iga. I mean, if Rybakina is healthy, I'd love to see how she does at Roland Garros, but either way, Swiatek's the big favorite. So, Daniel Collins seems to be playing amazing as well. Never know. Collins and Swiatek, have they They haven't played in a while, right? When's the last time they played? They played at the Australian Open in that crazy match where Collins nearly won. She was up a double break, I believe. So that was the last time they played. No, Indian Wells as well, where Swiatek won 6-3, 6-0. But they haven't really played in since Miami when Collins really started picking up. So it'd be interesting to see Collins Swiatek. But Swiatek is going to be the big favorite on the WTA either way, although I am excited to see what Collins looks like. But on the ATP, it's wide open. Let me know. Who do you think's winning Roland Garros ATP side? That's a double fault from Tsitsipas. Paul won. Yeah, Tommy Paul over Hurkacz. Tommy Paul over Hubie. Let's see if Jarry can get a rebreak right here. Kick serve is very good from Steph. This feels like the Jarry back in return has not been good enough in this match, honestly. I'll go with Ruud, like I said at the start of the year. Yeah, no, I like the pick a lot. And also, I mean, you could point to Ruud not having the best tournament at this event, but I will say, or really at the last couple of events, but I will say that losing to Kecmanovic and losing to Felix. But, I mean, going into U.S. Open in 2022, he lost to Ben Shelton when basically very few people knew about Ben Shelton. He lost like 6-3, 6-3 going into the U.S. Open, where he would go on to reach the final. So, I also think Casper is a big sleeper. He also just plays so well at Roland Garros. I think Casper is a big sleeper. I think Tsitsipas is a big guy to look out for, and I think Alcaraz. For me, I still go with Alcaraz if he's healthy. If not, then I'll go maybe with Tsitsipas. I think Casper will win it down the road. I kind of think that this year maybe I'd go with Tsitsipas. Djokovic is still a big name, absolutely. Sinner if he plays. Medvedev I wouldn't completely discount ever. Zverev, never know. This could be an opportunity. Forehand of Jarry at the back end of Steph. Forehand Jarry is very good. Gets the 30-40. I just love the passion Jarry is throwing into this match. Jarry steps it up when he plays against the top guy. He really does. These guys are scary. Fabian Morazan, Nicolas Jarry, and Hugo Humbert. Those guys are the big three. Those guys are the big three of stepping up against guys outside the top 10. Inside the top 10. Those guys play like the big three when they play against top 10 players. That's a backhand into the net. The backhand return is going to be Jarry's undoing because he's missed so many backhand returns. That backhand return, especially when Steph gets such a good kick on his clay court serve, and it's out wide as well. That's going to be Jarry's undoing in this match, is that backhand return not being at a high enough level. Serve Steph, back into Jarry. Big. Forehand Jarry, big. The forehand of Steph. That's in the net. Another break point for Jarry. I'll let you know how many break points he's had so far. But yeah, in terms of the favorites question, my pick is Alcaraz, and if Alcaraz is not healthy, then I'll go with Tsitsipas. I'll name Ruud as a sleeper, though. It's my assessment. Is this match stats? Forehand, break point for Jarry. Forehand to Jarry. Love that from Jarry with the forehand. Wow. It's impressive. It's impressive from Jarry. He gets the 2-2. Gets the 2-2. Wow. On Jarry's, I guess on his 5th break point of the match, he gets his 2nd break. 2 hours and 14 minutes played. We're at 2-2. Could end up being one of the longer matches of the tournament. I guess it's not that long, but it's not short. Either him or Steph, yeah. We got the first signs of that in Monte Carlo and Barcelona. Ruud and Steph are on it this year on clay. Rome was faster this year. Rome is faster. I agree. It definitely looks faster than it has been. Wowzers, yeah, for rank. Jarry stepping up now. Great break back from Jarry to mentally reset. Absolutely. Maynor, number 1, Steph if he wins Rome. Number 2, Rude. Number 3, Zverev. Number 4, Alcaraz. Number 5, Novak. Well, I would say number 1. Yeah, I mean, I like the picks as well, Maynor. I guess for Alcaraz, I would put him number 1 if he's healthy. If he's not healthy, then I guess those are the concerns about him. But I guess in parentheses, you have the concerns about the players. But if Alcaraz is healthy, then I would put him number 1. But aside from that, I agree with you. Who wants Jarry to win? I personally do. Chronix. We've got players. We've got people rooting for different players here. I know a lot of people in the chat rooting for different people. We've got some Steph fans though, as well. But I already said it. I'm a fan of Jarry, and I'd love to see chaos keep unfolding at the event. But that being said, I also have a stake in the fight for Tsitsipas as well. But yeah, I'd love to see the chaos keep unfolding, and Jarry getting a good run at a big tournament would be awesome to see. It really, really would. I would love to see that. Because, I mean, just thinking about it, when is, like, has he ever reached the semifinals of a big tournament? I don't think he has. It would have been at a Masters, obviously. He's reached 2 quarterfinals in the past, Shanghai and Miami. Somehow this is his first, even 4th round at a Clay Masters. He's never been to the semifinals of a big tournament, so I mean, it would be a great and very deserved milestone for Jarry. I'll just put it that way, and back to his career high of number 18 in the world. To be honest, either way, even if Tsitsipas loses this, I mean, to be honest, especially with how the rest of the field is looking, he's going to be one of the big favorites going to Roland Garros either way. It will be different though. Jarry completely shanks the forehand as it goes into the crowd, but it doesn't matter because he had that shot off a out ball from Tsitsipas. So 3-2. 3-2 for Jarry. Do you see this? Yes, I do. I do, Chronix. Yeah. Yeah, when you speak up in the chat, I can see everything you write. Yeah. What's up? What's up? Alcaraz didn't have good clay season. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true, but I don't know. He just hasn't been particularly healthy as well. I mean, against Rublev, Alcaraz was not 100%, and he didn't even play Monte Carlo, so it's just the health concerns for Alcaraz. He didn't look great, to be honest, through parts of his Monte Carlo matches, but he was also, I don't know. I'm kind of giving him a little bit of a benefit of a doubt. When Alcaraz is at his best, he shows up at the majors. I mean, all of these guys, we're not looking at them as big favorites for Roland Garros, but you also have to consider the fact that when's the last time that Alcaraz has lost before the semis of a major? I think it must have been Roland Garros in 2022, right? The last time. I think that was the last time for Djokovic, too. They both lost. Djokovic lost to Rafa and Alcaraz lost to Zverev. That's the last time that they lost before the semis of a Grand Slam. 2022. And Alcaraz had just turned 19 at the time, I believe. So I don't know. I just think when they play at majors, Alcaraz and Djokovic, they're different. And Djokovic, I mean, he hasn't lost before this. You almost don't even want to count losing to Rafa at the French, because everybody loses to Rafa at the French, even Djokovic. Djokovic beat him in, I think, what should be one of the most famous victories ever at the 2021 Roland Garros, which I personally think had the best set of tennis ever played in the third set. Strongly believe so. I strongly believe that the third set of that match was the best set of tennis I've ever seen. I don't think the match was the best match I've seen personally, but that set was. It's a great serve from Tsitsipas out wide. We're having a lot of shorter points though. So if these points were longer, if on average we've had longer points here, then we would have already played for like 2.5 hours or 2 hours 45 minutes. That's another back-end return long. I just feel like that back-end return from Jarry is going to be his undoing, to be honest. Too many errors off that back-end return. Maybe he should try to step around it and hit forehand return, because the back-end return is just not going in a whole lot. First serve out from Steph. Sorry about that, guys. Back for the call for this one. Here we go. Scoreboard back on. I'm still freezing up and lagging up a bit. Let me see if I can fix that. Did Alcaraz win Wimbledon? I'm pretty sure I'm not a major tennis fan, but watch the final. Yeah, he did. He did, yes. If Jarry wins, that'll be the first time that two Chileans making semifinal Masters. That absolutely has to be, I think. I mean, I don't know for sure. I guess with Rios and Gonzalez, maybe they could have had an overlap. Oh, that's a backhand screamer from Jarry at an important pivotal moment. Some heavy breathing from Jarry. Jarry is looking like he's loving the crowd support. He's trying to take this in. He's having some huge reactions. That is maybe the shot of the match. Nearly as good as the flashy tweener he hit earlier in the match. Oh, come on, it's 3-3. I want Jarry to win. Okay, Chronics. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what Jarry can do. It's fun to root for the underdog as well. It'd be great to see Jarry win. He's one of the most mentally locked-in players. I always enjoy watching him. He always looks great, especially when he's playing these kind of guys. And to go up 4-2 on Tsitsipas would be a bit of a statement. Beating him on all three surfaces. Or on hard court, grass court, and clay court. Backhand, cross court. The backhand of Steph is a lob. Slice. Goes out. Vamos from Jarry. Vamos. Vamos, vamos. Let's go, Jarry. He's at 3:15. And question time, what was the best Masters 1000 final so far on the ATP? Manor, do you mean ever or this year? Do you mean ever or this year? Here we go. 30-15 for Jarry. Are you saying 2024 or all time? It's kind of my question. This year. Okay, yeah, it's a great question. So what have been the Masters 1000 finals so far? Alcaraz Medvedev. Alcaraz Medvedev was fantastic. The first set was really entertaining, really high level. Miami Dimitrov Sinner. That was the biggest stream I've done. A lot of fun to watch. But Dimitrov did not really show up to his best. Sinner played out of his freaking mind. I mean, offensively good from Sinner in that match against Dimitrov in the final. Sinner basically beat Prime Federer in straight sets. No, I'm completely kidding. Forehand, inside out is very good from Jarry. He gets to 4-3. Best final, I would say. So Indian Wells would be better than that one. Ruud versus Tsitsipas. Ruud did not show up for the Monte Carlo final. Madrid was decent. It was better than a lot of people expected, considering what happened throughout that tournament. It was better. Madrid was decent. The only really good one, in my opinion, so far that was absolutely phenomenal was the Indian Wells final. Was really, really good. So I'd say Medvedev Alcaraz Indian Wells, the first one, because that one was really fun. Alcaraz is always such a great shot maker, and I just felt like that match was the closest to what I've really wanted from an Alcaraz Medvedev match. The first set, the second set, Medvedev went away a little bit. The first set was amazing. Medvedev played really well too, and he got pretty close. And yeah, the best match on the women's side, yeah, Paulina Kalinskaya. Yeah, Paulina Kalinskaya is awesome. Yeah, I was glad to see Kalinskaya get to a final. I hope to see her still around for a while. Paulini, what a random run from her. She was down like 5-2 in her first match and was down like match points every match in that whole run. And then they played an absolutely amazing classic of a final. So yeah, I agree. I'd say that those are the best two finals. The best Masters 1000 final that I've seen while I've been watching tennis is a different question. But I'd probably say Alcaraz, Djokovic, Cincinnati. I don't know if that one gets beaten. The only one I'd possibly contest with it is the Nadal Djokovic Madrid 2009 semifinal, but that wasn't a final. So it has to be Alcaraz, Djokovic, Cincinnati. It's the best Masters final I've seen. Other good there are other great best of 3 set matches I've seen, like Nadal versus Murray, ATP Finals 2010. Murray versus Raonic, 2016 ATP Finals. Some matches at the Olympics that have happened. But in terms of best Masters finals, I would say Alcaraz, Djokovic, Cincinnati is the best one I've ever seen, to be honest. At least for best of 3. Here we go, 3-4. It's a double fault from Steph. Jarry is 7 points away from taking this match. Tsitsipas was 5 points away from taking at 5-5, 15-40 in the last set. 6 double fault for Tsitsipas is very poor. He doesn't usually have this many double faults. He's usually pretty good about it. That goes out off the back-end return again from Jarry. Just missing these back-end returns. It might come back to bite him in the bud. Do you remember that early in that match? The first set where it kept on being a deuce and advantage. Yes. Really crazy. Great serve from Tsitsipas there. Madrid was the best on the sets. Yeah, but on the score, on the actual level of the match, I would go with Medvedev Alcaraz all the way. Were you not streaming at the time? I wasn't streaming, but I did see that one, Chronix. I did watch it anyway. Somebody else was streaming it for the channel. Only final to go 3. Yeah, it was pretty good. I actually kind of think Felix Rublev was a good final. Some people said it was poor level. It wasn't. It was no Swiatek Sabalenka, but it wasn't bad. It definitely wasn't very high level though, but it wasn't bad. It was pretty good. Forehand down the line. Forehand squash out Jarry is ridiculous. Oh my god. Blow me away. Mind blowing. Couple of shots back to back. Some great shot making in this match. Maybe peaked right there. 4-4. Let's see. This is when it gets down to the nitty gritty. That was an unbelievable cut. 3 shots in a row. First the forehand from Steph, and then the squash shot for a passing shot about an inch over the net. And then how did Steph control this? Just a beautiful half volley feel straight out of the 80s at the net on a clay court with Steph just aggressive on the front foot. He looks like a man on a mission. Will he succeed the mission? We don't know, but we're at 4-4. Both guys playing with a lot of intensity. And it's Jarry to serve. You love tennis. Love tennis. Backhand slice Tsitsipas. Forehand of Jarry. The backhand of Tsitsipas. Forehand of Jarry. That's too good. 15 love for Jarry. 15 love for Jarry. You love tennis, man. Big forehand shot. Already 2.5 hours played. These are some big moments in this clay court season, to be honest. Because Tsitsipas is a key player. Whether you like it or not, Tsitsipas has proven himself to be a key player in this clay swing. So these are some big moments for him. Backhand Steph. Forehand of Jarry. Forehand Steph, cross court. Forehand of Jarry. That goes out. 15 all. The start of the match, the first set, I thought Jarry would have no chance during 4-1. I never completely counted him out, but yeah, absolutely. There's like a 15-minute long game or more, Chronix, at 4-1, where he was down a few break points, and it looked like Tsitsipas completely cruising, playing unbelievable. Serving so many first serves in and just winning all of the baseline rallies. And yeah, it was a really good hold, really important hold from Jarry at the time, and I said the same thing. Absolutely key for Jarry. Backhand slice. Jarry closes at the net. 30-15. And that's why I don't just say stuff when I'm streaming. I try to think about it. And with Jarry, I mean, if he lost that and then he was to go down 6-1 and lose the first set, even though he lost the first set 6-3, I mean, holding that game, very crucial for him to be where he is right now. That's what people don't get about tennis. But yeah, that's what people don't get about tennis. It's not about who wins each set necessarily, although a big part of it is. It's also about the rhythm and momentum and tempo and confidence and you know, just the back and forth of it. Forehand into the net from Jarry, 30 all. 30 all. 4-4, 30 all. This couldn't be much closer, could it? They said earlier that it's 80 points won apiece. This could not be much closer than it is at the moment. Let's see if Steph steps up right now. Steph fans, close your eyes. Tsitsipas fans, close your eyes. It's going to be hard to watch at the moment. As Jarry gets to 40-30. Glad Lexi isn't watching. All right, I don't know if she is. Oh, nice. Just check close to 11K subscribers. Yeah, we hit 10K a little while ago, and we're trying to get up there, trying to get to 20K. And it's been great. The channel's been growing, which is awesome. Forehand volley put away, so 5-4. 5-4 for Jarry as he gets one game away, 4 points from taking out Tsitsipas and making this tournament even weirder, even so much weirder than it was before. This tournament has been absolute chaos for a lot of the wrong reasons, but I mean, if Jarry could take out Tsitsipas like this, he could at least make the chaos seem a little bit, you know, it would be a good win for Jarry. It has nothing to do with Tsitsipas being injured or anything. Really break the draw open a little bit more. Tsitsipas will be very disappointed in the few chances that he took in that second set, also giving up the lead at 2-1 that he had with the break. But he's still in this match. Will be interesting. Looking at the serve stats before we go into this. Come on, one more round. Yep, that's it. One more game to go. Here we go. So serve stats, I don't care about the match. Set 3. Serve stats so far. So actually, Steph is serving way better than Jarry, I guess. Or I'll not necessarily, actually. Jarry's doing better on... Jarry's pretty good. 69% points won on first and second serve. Jarry has won more second serve points than Steph, but he's also just making less first serves in. So Jarry will hope to, if he does need to serve again, he'll hope that he keeps doing so well on the second serve. But yeah, Steph is doing really well on serve, so he's not. If he keeps going like that, he won't be that worried. The winners to error stats here aren't usually that accurate, but anyway, this says something. Jarry is hitting more winners than Steph at the moment. That's true. That's definitely true. Here we go. 2.5 hours played, over 2.5 hours. Big moments here as Jarry tries to beat Steph for the 4th time. He's won 6 out of the last 9 sets that they've played across all surfaces. First serve goes out from Steph. He's won 60% of second serve points won, which is good. Serve Steph. Forehand of Jarry. Forehand of Steph. That goes out very tight as Jarry is 3 points away from the victory. Listen, getting 4 points away, it's like, doesn't seem that notable. But whenever you say, like, this guy was 3 points away from winning, at that point, you're like, oh, this guy was close. Jarry is 3 points away from winning. See how Steph responds. Very tight first serve as well. He needs to take his time here. Long clay court swing already for Tsitsipas, by the way. Already a long clay court swing for Tsitsipas. That's a double fault. Oh, Tsitsipas. Steph. Oh my God. Tsitsipas mentally folding at the last hurdle. Look at how crazy this tournament is. We could have Jarry versus Tommy Paul and Alejandro Tabilo on the other side. Take on Alexander Zverev. This is reality right now. I mean, Tabilo, we don't know how he's going to be. He's probably going to have more good runs in the future. Steph, by the way, kind of whacked his racket. I don't know. I don't think he got a code for it or anything. Love 30. So he goes to the line. Serve from Steph. The forehand of Jarry. The backhand return's been poor, but he's getting forehand returns. Backhand goes just wide cross court. 15-30. Tsitsipas trying to get himself back in the groove of things. Already back at the line, trying to get that rhythm on the serve, but he just looks a little bit mentally fragile at the moment, Steph. He looks like he's got some vulnerabilities in the mental side at the moment. Serve in the back and return. That's a good one. Forehand. Inside out, back into Jarry. Down the middle, forehand to the open court. Forehand squash. It goes in. Oh, it's an unbelievable shot from Jarry. Dude, give Jarry his flowers, man. This guy, if he's playing a top 10 guy, Jarry is suddenly, this guy's top 5. If Jarry plays a top 10 player, this guy's suddenly top 5. Jarry's record against top players should be studied, man. This guy's trying to outdo Hugo and Bear in terms of playing top guys. How did he do that? Jarry was a mile away from the shot. His movement isn't usually that talked about as a 6'7" guy. He's got 2 match points. That was a wonderful squash shot. Tsitsipas couldn't believe it. Forehand Steph. Inside in. Oh, Jarry had the open court there. But he hits in the net. 30-40. Tsitsipas fist bumps. And just as Sinner did against Djokovic last year, down match points. Very confident, just very locked in, fist bumping. He still believes he can win this match, Tsitsipas. And Jarry is not Djokovic, but if that's when you can save match points, when you believe on every fiber of your being that you can come back. Oh, and Tsitsipas very quickly to the line. And a backhand return does get away from Jarry. 2 match points saved. A lot of craziness happening within in a minute of each other. A minute of absolute craziness. Deuce. Tsitsipas playing this like Federer at the moment. So quick to the line. Not even letting Jarry have a minute to think about it. Man on a mission is what I said. Oh, that is oh, bro, this match is so good. Jarry with a forehand cross-court winner. Jarry-Tsitsipas rivalry is one of the most underrated rivalries on the tour, up there with Holger Rune and Grigor Dimitrov. I love this rivalry. I love it every time. They just pull off some great tennis against each other. Jarry loves playing Steph. Even when Steph won in Los Cabos, it was so good. I don't care. I'm putting it forward. For me, this is one of the most underrated rivalries on the tour. Third match point for Jarry comes on a second serve. Forehand. Inside in, Jarry. Forehand. Cross court. Forehand to Steph. The back of Jarry. It's in the net. Dude, I can't watch this. Is it possible to watch tennis and actually know what's going on with your eyes closed? I guess I'm helping people do that. You can close your eyes. I'll let you know what's going on. Can I close my eyes too? I don't want to watch this at the moment. Dude, both guys at the moment. Oh my god. This is so good though. This is high level. Forehand, the forehand of Steph. The backhand of Jarry. The backhand of Steph. Forehand of Jarry. The forehand of Steph. That's a shank. Is it going in? Oh, it goes out. Okay, a backhand shank from Steph was a winner against Cam Norrie earlier in the week, but that forehand shank was not going to go in. Big come on from Jarry. 4th match point. Surely. Oh my god. Say good strategy B when both playing at calm, sometimes to have good angle. Just smash it since they weren't expected. Yeah, that's fair. Forehand Jarry, it's a match point. Forehand to Steph. Backhand slice into the forehand to Steph. Inside in, forehand Jarry is a lob. Steph with a smash. Jarry returns it. Oh, it's unbelievable. Forehand's in the net. Nicolas Jarry pulls it out. A second Chilean in the semifinals. Absolutely magical performance from Nicolas Jarry. Takes out the Monte Carlo champion, fully deserved. A wonderful fight with some exquisite shot making. And you saw it on that match point. Flowers to Jarry. He deserves it. This guy's out of the rankings for a couple years. Now he's back at his career high of world number 18. Best result of his career. He pulls it off against the top guys. That was chaos, bro. I mean, the first 2 sets were good. The third set was fantastic. The shot making in that last game, the back and forth, that got me hyped up. Jarry. Dude, this tournament is offsides. The draw is crazy. Jarry versus Tommy Paul for the final. Jarry will like his chances to get to a career high ranking, a new one. And also to get to a final of a Masters. Tommy Paul, the same thing. Jarry, Tommy Paul, and Alejandro Tabilo are 3 of the semifinalists. Sasha Zverev is now the big favorite in the tournament. But listen, I kind of like Tabilo against Zverev. I said it earlier on stream. I have Tabilo beating Zverev. That's my hot take. I kind of think Tabilo beats Zverev. Should we doubt it with how crazy this tournament is? Maybe the craziest semifinals I've seen for a Masters. They might age well. Tabilo and Jarry could still have some of the best results in their career on a clay court. And Tommy Paul is still yet to probably have his best career results, although you never know. But man, this is crazy. Crazy stuff. Holy cook, jinxed it after first set. Yeah, I remember that. You said free win. Holy cook. Absolutely massive from Jarry. That got me hyped up. Yeah, shout out Chronix4. Appreciate you subbing as well. No problem. That got me hyped up for Jarry. I'm a big fan, obviously. Love seeing him getting the success. Tsitsipas will be back. He's still one of the big favorites going to Roland Garros. He honestly, I mean, Jarry just earned that win. He earned that win. Some great shot making at the end. How did he hit that squash shot to get to 1540? He was way outside the court at 6'7" to run and slide inside the court and then hit the shot like just pure inches above the net, or an inch above the net. Was crazy. What a win for Jarry. Jarry. Huge W for Jarry. Deserved. Well deserved. Anthony's so happy for Jarry. Yeah, I am, honestly. It's guys like this that deserve it. They've been through a lot of struggle, and they deserve it a lot. What a win. Let me look at the statistics, and then, yeah. Jarry is very underrated. Jarry is very underrated. Yes, he absolutely is. Absolutely is. And then can I get a shout out? Yeah, I did shout you out. Shout out to Chronix4. I promise I see you. Yeah, I appreciate you joining in. Thanks for subbing as well. Jarry Tabilo, final halfway there. Yeah. I mean, 2 Chilean players, 50% loading. That'd be awesome. I could well imagine it. Jarry arguably could be the favorite against Tommy Paul. He likes the surface more, probably, historically. Like, let me just bring up their records on clay in pro matches. Ultimate Tennis Statistics only updates after every week, but On clay, Jarry is 60% win rate on clay, 57 and 38. That's even better this week. So he's like 60.5% win rate on clay or whatever. For Tommy Paul, let's see. Tommy Paul Ultimate Tennis Statistics. Looking at their clay court records. And then, like I said, I just kind of think Tabilo might beat Zverev. I think Tabilo will do really well on serve against Zverev. And I think he can win. He's been playing amazing this week. He hasn't dropped a set yet. Yeah, Tommy Paul, 39.5% win rate on clay. Jarry, over 60%. I kind of think Jarry is low-key a favorite going against Tommy Paul. He's number, what is that, like 18 in the live rankings now, Jarry? So he's pretty close to where Paul is anyway. So Jarry, let me see. Did they update the rankings yet? Live ATP rankings. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, they just updated. So if Jarry wins the semifinal, he'll be number 17 in the world. Tommy Paul, number 14 in the world. With a win there, Tommy Paul could be as high as number 13 in the world. He's been as high as number 12, though, but he would be very close to Fritz at number 12 ahead of him, should he win. He'd be about 100 points behind. Anyway, this tournament is crazy. I came back and Steph lost. Yeah, it was very unexpected. Steph, so many chances that he'll regret towards the end of the second set. But yeah, is what it is. Good night. Good night. Yes, Chile. That's it, Jose. Thank you, Max. I appreciate it. All right, 2 hours and 42 minutes. It's Jarry who wins 6-4 in the third set. And overall, just really picked it up in the second, third set. I felt his level rising in the first set as well. I had Tsitsipas in 3 sets, but I knew Jarry would give him a contest. Tsitsipas, one of his worst rivalries on the tour now, no doubt. An underrated rivalry on the circuit. 4-2 rivalry. Tsitsipas, Jarry just doing so well on the serve in the match. So well on the serve, much better on second serve points won. Tsitsipas with 7 double faults, some at crucial moments. And Jarry, this says it all. 36 winners, 18 errors. He played a phenomenal match. Jarry played a match to be very excited about. Shout out to Nicholas Jarry. Really, shout out. Underrated. I'll see you guys for the next one. Appreciate everybody joining in like always. A crazy semifinal lineup of Jarry versus Tommy Paul. That's F.A. Lehechka-esque. When's the next stream? I'll have to see. I don't know if I'll stream tomorrow. I'll be going on a trip out of town starting from the 19th, so I won't be able to stream for a little bit. Maybe I'll still be able to stream out of town. I'll have to see, but I might stream tomorrow. I'll have to see, but I'll have more streams coming. And for Roland Garros, I'll be streaming a lot. But yeah, Jarry versus Paul. That's awesome. Those are two of the guys that were really two of the biggest kind of players at the start of the season last year that really kind of stepped up in level and kind of climbed up a tier in the tour at the start of last year. They're playing against each other in the semis. The newcomer Tabilo, at 26 years of age, playing some of his best tennis to date, will take on Zverev. So chaotic tournament, keeps getting more chaotic ahead of Roland Garros. I'll see you guys for more streams soon, but it is Jarry. Shout out to Jarry. Now 4-2 up on Tsitsipas. That's a big stat. 4-2 on Tsitsipas now. He's in the semis.